Hello, Internet. My name is Oliver Queen. For 5 years, I was stranded on an island with only one goal: survive. Now I will fulfill my father's dying wish to play role-playing games on the Internet. To do this, I must become someone else. I must become something else. And that's all I'm doing of that bit for the rest of this game. Thank you all.
You said you were going to do that.
Yep. I said I was. And we're done. So thank you, everyone, for joining us for our post-Halloween spooktacular. We're here to play Masks, or Wonderworld Origins Edition Reckoning Part 2. We are down a few players today, but what else is new? We are gonna power through, though, and have a lot of fun. Spooky fun, as I like to call it. A couple of announcements before we get started. We had a couple of games over the last, we had one game since our last episode of Wild Space, or Wonderworld, which was Wild Space, which went up on YouTube last week. You can check it out there. We have a couple of other shows that are coming up this weekend. We have the return of Lords of Misrule this Saturday. We missed one session, so it feels like it's been forever since we've played. But that will be at 3:00 Eastern time this Saturday. And then coming up next week, we will have we are not having Wild Space next week, if I remember right. So that will be postponed. Maybe we'll do something else in its place, to be determined. Keep an eye on our Twitter for announcements. I can't think of anything else. We had our second episode of Cyberscape go up on the 24th, I believe it was. So I think that was last week. So you can check that out on wherever you find podcasts, iTunes or Castbox is where we have it up right now. Still working on the Google Play Store or wherever other podcasts go. Still figuring this out, but any support you have out there would be appreciated. Once again, it's called Cyberscape, all one word, and you can find it where podcasts are sold for free. Anything else? Does anybody have any announcements or comments? Concerns?
I would like to announce that I love our costumes and I think we all look great.
I don't know how long I'm going to be able to wear this mask for. I feel like
wear it the whole time.
Face.
You have to.
Okay.
You have to protect Beacon City.
All right. So we will pick up this session of Wonderworld. So last time we met, let's do a recap. So last session, our crew, the Vigilantines, were recovering from their encounter with Pandemonium and a revelation from a time traveling superhero, Eternium, and her cohort, the Golden Duke, that there were bigger forces at play and things for them to stop and the world to be saved and all sorts of cryptic superhero stuff. But you needed a break from all that, so you got in a bit of trouble. Ian got detected or got scouted by some drones that had recently been put out by the BCPD that were detecting superhuman activity. I believe Kiki had some. I wanted to come up with a word, but she had some fun texts with her bow. I was going to say salacious texts, but it was cat pictures and emoticons. So. And it's Kiki. So anyway, you and I think we got a glimpse at other people's sort of home lives for the first time. And what else? Went to the movies, went to the Grand Canyon, and broke into the police station again and stole some tech and rewrote some programming on some computers so that wouldn't be caught anymore.
As you do.
Yeah, as you do on a weekend. But we are picking up not too long after that. But first, we start with a familiar scene outside of the Civic Center, the community center at the center of town. We come across a news footage once again, with you see the dark hair of Carmen Dakota sort of blowing in the morning breeze as she picks up her microphone. Says, Carmen Dakota reporting from the Stan Lee Civic Center, where volunteers are hard at work preparing for tonight's Halloween Spooktacular Festival. With many concerned about event security, many members of the BCPD are moonlighting to provide additional staffing. In the Vigilante Prevention Task Force lending support from the superhuman detection drones and other technological advances. Event staff hopes these precautions will encourage families to come out and enjoy the festivals without fear. Back to you, Bob. And the report ends. But we pick up not too far from this location on the outskirts of town, where the trio of you peoples that are present and here are currently being led by by Irma and Hector, otherwise known as Eternium and the Golden Duke, to a remote location just outside of town. Now, you have been choosing a new location for your superhuman hideout over the past couple days. I imagine there's probably some text threads that have been going around, some pictures you guys have been going on, real estate listings, and trying to find places to squat in. I want to know where you guys chose specifically. What kind of place is this? What does it look like? What did it used to be? And what does it look like now? I'm going to go around the world here, and we'll start with Savannah. What is this place? Give me a what is this location like, or what kind of building is this? You don't have to go very specific, but just give us the starting point.
I think it is. I think maybe it's in like the old part of like the factory district that's like not being used anymore.
Okay, so like a warehouse?
Yeah, like a big abandoned kind of warehouse where like there probably used to be a bunch of stuff, but now it's like mostly empty.
It was the former 6th firework factory that went out of business.
Yeah.
Okay, that was my next question, so I'll give that to Alex then.
The firework factory, they tried a competing brand that tried to come in.
Okay.
Didn't work.
Okay. And let's see. So old firework factory. Do we have a name of it? I'll since you guys are kind of doing this together, I'll let you. I won't pick anybody else.
Out with a bang fireworks.
Out with a bang fireworks.
Yes.
I love that.
That's very good.
That's a really good one. Out with a bang.
They went out with more of a whimper. Why they went bankrupt?
So it went bankrupt. It didn't like explode or something. So the building is in good condition then, as far as just not maintained very well. My image of this is it's probably like a foreclosure or something, someplace that you're not really expecting anybody to move into anytime soon.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Details about this. What sort of location are we talking about here? You said it was an old factory district. Is this a populated area? Is this someplace like near downtown, or is this more? I said on the outskirts, but it can be wherever you guys want it to be. Do you want something more with a more desirable location?
I mean, I don't think we want it to be in a super populated area. Like maybe it's like it's that factory and then like the warehouses around it, and they have since like been abandoned, and then instead of reusing them, they've just built new ones.
Okay.
G says it should be near the docks. I like the sound of that.
Near the docks. I like it.
Yeah.
Probably not actually waterside, because I can't imagine them leaving an abandoned warehouse there, but near enough that they figured, hey, the fireworks factories here have a tendency to explode. Let's put it near water.
Close to the water.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. And how did you guys how did you guys decide on this place? Or, is there any sort of story you guys want to figure out how was you found it? Or did you just like Google abandoned buildings and come across it?
Oh, I have an idea. I think maybe it's been abandoned for a couple of years, and every once in a while, like a few years ago, when Rose could like get Olivia to act like a little bit of a delinquent, they would go and like explore around like abandoned buildings and stuff down there.
Okay, so it's a place that you have some history with. Okay, I think we can work with that. So Eternium and the Golden Duke, I'm trying to refer to them by their real names. So Irma and Hector lead you to this location, and I think Hector is probably the first one that walks through, probably tears open the chain link fence and sort of walks up to the building and begins to pace in front of it. Says, "This could work. It's not exactly what I was expecting. Are you sure you don't want to go with the high rise or the tall somewhere with a view?"
I mean, this factory's still... We can put a lookout up top. It's got a decent view into the downtown area.
I don't know. I feel like you want something that just that makes a statement. Something that when you look at it just says, "I am here."
Like,
but
normally I would really agree with you, but I really don't want to get found again.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
kind of need to be a little bit incognito,
I think Irma steps up. She says, I agree with their judgment here. I don't think you all are ready for making a big statement yet. So I think this looks like it'll work well. Plenty of space on the inside. So we need to actually make this a home for you then. Olivia, why don't you come over here?
Okay.
She says, "Now, we've been working on this for a couple days now, channeling your powers more focused, visualization. So we're going to work on that here, but we're going to need a little bit of additional assistance." And she looks over, and I think Lucas and Rose are there with you. Gentry's probably not there just because it's so. This is like early morning. And she says, "Lucas, do you have what I asked for you to bring?" And Lucas, I think, probably looks a little bit bashful and then taken aback and says, "Yes, I have it right here. I guess I'll bring out the thing that I made and did not come to this planet on or anything." And he he pulls out probably like a small device from his pocket and tosses it on the ground, and it kind of unfolds from itself, forming this piece of strange technology that is, you might say, alien to some of you. But you've seen Lucas use such devices before. You've seen him make them before, so probably not all that out of the ordinary for all of you. She says, "Perfect. So, Olivia, why don't you move over here?" And so just kind of, she begins to like position people, and then she looks over to Kiki, and she says, "Gonna need your help for this too."
Okay.
Now, I had something inspiring that I wanted to say here, and something prepared, but midterms were last week, and I'm just a little bit frazzled, so I'm going to kind of bring this to a point. You all are very powerful in your own right, and kudos to all of you for everything you've done so far. But what I've noticed, and what Hector here has pointed out to me is that I think there are times when you don't necessarily realize how much more powerful you'd be if you worked together. The things that you could accomplish if you use your powers in a more synchronistic way. So we're going to try something here, and this is something that future me told me about. This is something that you can do and you can accomplish if you work together. So Olivia, stand there. So what I want you to do is, Olivia, I want you to focus on what we talked about creating a space, about creating your construct, except I don't want you to focus on a specific object. I just want you to focus on a small sphere, something hollow. And I want you to focus on making it inside that building, just on the other side of that wall. Now, what I need from you, Kiki, is to channel some of the energy from Lucas's device here. I need you to sort of do your thing, absorb it, build up as much of it as you can, and then hand that off to Olivia.
Okay.
Okay. You can do this. I know you can do this. You do this eventually. And I think we're just taking the steps a little bit earlier than you would have on your own. But that's what we're here for, is to sort of jumpstart this. So let's try it. Lucas, fire it up. He says, oh, all right. And he turns on the device and it begins to whir and kind of creates this like puttering noise and sparking with these like fluorescent lights along the side. And so what I'm not going to have you guys roll here because this is more narrative, and there's not really a chance to fail here because you're being very much helped. But what I am going to say that as part of this, as part of your participation in this, no, actually, I'm not going to do that either. Again, I don't want to have there be any side effects because this is something that is mechanic to your class, Olivia, and you're being very much instructed on how to do this, and so I think you put your hands on this Kiki and begin to absorb this energy, and it just sort of feels like bottomless, like whatever source of energy that is in this machine that this device is putting off, that Lucas has created, it just goes on and on. You feel yourself kind of pulling it inside of you, and it just doesn't stop. And I think there's probably a point where Kiki begins to sort of glow, and has this very noticeable sort of Dragon Ball Z like aura of energy that begins to encompass her, and you feel yourself sort of, probably for the first, I don't know if this is something that Kiki's ever experienced, is like the limit of how much energy you can absorb, because that's one of your, it's one of your key powers. But have you ever like played around with the idea of like how much electricity could I take in?
Probably not. She probably hasn't pushed it in a while.
Okay. That I think that probably makes sense with your character. So I think but in this moment, and there might be a moment where then, I mean, do you think that there'd be a moment where you hesitate? Where like, is that enough? Like, I'm going to stop here, or do you think you just keep going until you were told to stop?
Yeah, she probably is looking.
Okay.
So yeah, kind of like looks nervous, and then it's like, I can do this.
Yeah. I think Hector stands across the device from you. He says, "Don't worry, we're here to help. Listen, you can do this. You just trust your instincts and just push through. You're only. I train every day, and the only way you can build up muscles is by breaking it down, pushing yourself to your limit. That's the only way you're going to grow and develop your power. So just keep pushing it until you can't anymore. Don't worry, we're here to help." So if you push through in that moment, the the energy continues to build, that aura intensifies, and I think you begin to feel like physical strain, like your muscles quivering, your joints starting to ache slightly, and you feel yourself at that limit and maybe slightly past it, where you are holding on to this massive energy that you feel like holding a handful of sand, and some of it is just slipping through your fingers, and that is this aura coming off from you and like sparking with this weird, probably bluish energy. And then at that moment, Irma looks to you, Olivia, and says, "All right, focus." And then she looks to Kiki and says, "Now pass the energy on to Olivia."
And she probably like reaches out and like touches Olivia on her shoulder or something.
Okay.
Kind of hand on both things.
Yeah. And as you do that, as you pass on that energy, I think, Olivia, you feel this surge, like being touched by like bare wire, essentially, this spark of electricity that courses through you, and in your mind's eye, you had your eyes closed in role play, so I don't know if your character has your eyes closed.
Yes.
Okay, so you see that construct in your mind's eye being created in that building, and suddenly, as that energy passes on to you, it expands like threefold, and then you feel it under control, and you're trying to maintain the shape, and Irma, you hear her in your head says, "All right, now I want you to expand that shape, that size, as far as you can. Stretch it as large as you possibly can, beyond the borders of the confines of this building." So you do that, you focus, and that sphere grows and grows and grows and grows and grows, and the rest of you sort of watch as Olivia begins to sort of sweat slightly, and you can see some physical exertion going on here. And when it hits that point, that you feel that membrane of whatever energy you're working with reaches its the limit of its capacity to stretch, you stop, like this, like blowing up a piece of bubble gum. And then you hear Irma's voice in your head once again. She says, "Good. Now, like we talked about before, and like we worked on before, shape it in your mind's eye to what you need, to what you want." And do you do that, or do you respond, or is this just like focus?
I think it's just all like laser focus. Like,
okay. So we'll kind of skip through that. So probably about 10 or 15 minutes past like this was just Olivia, just this intense focus. And finally, Olivia's eyes open, and her hands release whatever positioning you had them in to create this this construct. And I think Irma kind of catches you as you almost collapse there, and Kiki stops glowing as you release your hand from the device, and Lucas powers off the construction, and for all intents and purposes, everything in front of you looks entirely the same, mundane. And I think Irma looks at you and smiles, Olivia, and to Kiki, and says, "Good job." So
Did it work?
There's only one way to find out. Why don't we go inside? And you all walk up to the door of this. Probably there's probably like a bunch of windows that are mostly like broken, and you can see inside the building, and it's like trash in there, and you can see the destroyed remains of the interior of the structure. There's probably an open warehouse door to the side, and you can see into the building, and from the outside it looks it looks the same as it did before. And that probably catches you off guard, or you maybe lowers your hopes slightly as you approach. But then you walk up to the closed door at the front of the building, or the main like double doors that would have led into the factory, and push them open and head inside. And this is the point where I leave it up to you guys to describe what it is that we are seeing. So I'm going to start with Olivia, because this is Fantasia's power, your sanctuary, which you are invoking to create it. And then obviously there's going to be some amount of modification that I'm going to leave to the rest of you that is going to occur, maybe on some plans that you all had come up with before of things that you needed in this structure. The plans that I'm sure that you all don't really have, but that your characters did. So Fantasia or Olivia,
Okay.
what do we see?
Well, so I was prepared and I picked all my things off the list
Okay, good.
already. So I think walking in is... This jacket makes so much noise when I move around. I think when you walk in, there's one like very large kind of main space, I guess, with a few doors or doorways or whatever kind of going off of it. But in this main room, like on the back wall, there is this huge computer system. So I picked a powerful computer.
Okay.
Because that was the only thing that we picked last time that we actually used.
Yeah. Need to get that back.
So but there's this big, but it's better and nicer and greater than the one that we had before. So there's this large kind of spread out computer system that takes up like most of that wall. And then around the room, I think on like the other walls are much better versions of the creepy mannequins that we had before. An actual like legit costume mannequins for everybody's stuff, not like stolen from
like in glass
the costume
cases
shop.
and stuff.
Definitely in glass cases with
with,
very
like,
dramatic
lighting
lighting on the top.
I like it.
Kind of around the edges of the room, and then there is one kind of like central location that is like some couches and some chairs and a TV, a replacement TV. That's not the computer. So if we want to like watch the news or do whatever like we usually do, because we're always in there watching the news, we don't have to all sit around the computer.
For a bunch of teenagers,
sit.
you are very
Yeah, we watch the news a lot,
news watchers.
according to the narration that I remember from this game. And so yeah, I think centrally located there is kind of like a more comfortable space that's not all like computers and wires and lights and stuff. There's definitely at least like 2 Papasan chairs in there.
Okay.
Because I love those, and I think Olivia loves those too. In this big, like, kind of common space.
Okay. So we've got from the list right now, or in this main space, and we can do the rest of this in sort of general narration before we get back into the RP.
A powerful computer.
So you chose a powerful computer.
Yeah.
How many other things you get to choose?
I get 3, and then I had to pick 2 weaknesses, which, unless you want to designate, I already have an idea of.
No, you get to pick those. Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, it's up to you guys. Do you want to role play the first entry into this place before we get into like what other specifics are there, or do you guys just want to go ahead and jump into the what all cool fun stuff that there is in here? We'll assume there's oohing and awing and stuff as you enter, and just this massive space, clean and well maintained. This extra dimensional space.
About to say, is it obviously TARDIS, seeing it's bigger than the
My
warehouse?
super TARDIS.
And I mean, the warehouse is big, so it's hard to tell whether at first glance whether it is bigger, but is it definitely a different space than the warehouse itself? And it's maybe go out and like you go in through a window or something to see if it also enters, but it seems very clear that this door is the entry into this. You can't enter through any other means other than these front doors, at least right now, until you tell me what the other aspects of this place are.
And it's like, I think it's a little more like modern and like grown up than Olivia's like usual design sensibilities.
Okay.
But there's definitely a lot of like pink and purple stuff in there.
Sure.
I was going to ask what the color palette was.
In my mind, this whole thing is pink. So
It's so there's some purple in there.
Okay, cool. So what else do you have, or what other?
The other two things I picked are healing equipment.
Okay.
And a power enhancement system, which I have some ideas about too.
Cool. So that's all stuff in the main area, or do you have separate rooms for?
I think those are kind of like off. At least like the power enhancement system, I would like to be like its own separate space.
Yeah,
because I kind of think I know what that would be like.
My assumption, at least since this is your sanctuary, is that the main space. There's the main space we all gather in, and then I'm guessing there's going to be like a room for each of you. Tailored to your specifications. We'll say those two things specifically because that's your sanctuary. We can say those are like your personal room quarters.
Can I have the enhancement system be more like locally available? So here's what I'm thinking that it actually is, instead of just like a weird like thing that you plug into and your powers get better because all of our powers kind of function a little bit differently. Like I think there's like, it's a room with a lot of different stuff in it. So I think there is like, I was something like kind of futuristic and computery and like all of that stuff, because like for Olivia and her like constructs, and for like Kiki and the energy absorption and all of that stuff, like I think that those could take like actual technology to like, just like we were just doing with Lucas's device, to like not just like as like a temporary enhancement, but to actually like train and like make things stronger over time. So like to give us access to those, but then also like a training area and like weights and stuff, because some of us also have like super strength and speed and stuff.
So maybe we could do,
I'm thinking like long-term enhancement.
Yeah. So maybe some sort of like X-Men style, like holodeck kind of training area with like little, okay. Yeah, we can do something like that.
I think that would be cool.
I think for the sake of the game, like the RP of it would be you guys constantly like improving yourselves, like with the things. Since there isn't really like, other than gaining XP and stuff, there's not really like I can give you like +1 to your dexterity or something. We could probably work it out where if you work in there for an extended period of time, I can like up your freak or up your, lower certain things. We play around with your labels depending on that. But probably the immediate thing will be that like that boost that you get. There's probably some sort of contraption in there that you could use to like give yourself that immediate kind of,
That's what I was thinking.
Unless we do this like a hyperbolic time chamber thing. That's a second Dragon Ball Z reference I've made during this game, where you can get like a year's worth of training in like the span of a day or something like that.
I just think it would be cool to have.
I don't want you guys to all be 35 by the end of this campaign arc. So
I just thought it'd be cool to have a combination of both, like that, like immediate enhancement of like we're going into a really big thing, so let's all like boost up, but then also like maybe there's like a gym and stuff in there. Yeah, no,
I like the like training, and I like it being a little more interesting than the gym, like creating little robotic, or again, those are all like elements of your psychic construct that are like permanently manifested because of this insane like influx of energy that you've used. So it creates like psychic constructs, like enemies for you to fight, and things for you to climb and lift and throw and shoot and stuff like that. Okay.
And there's a rock wall.
Sure. But like it could create I imagine like kind of more high tech, like it's a big, I mean, again, you can tell me if this is wrong. My imagination was like it's a big smooth room and you just like will something new.
It's like the room of requirement for working out.
Okay. Or the holodeck, but we can go with Harry Potter if you want to.
It's my room.
That's true. Okay. So, well, yeah, we can do sort of a room requirement type. You just before you enter, you kind of think about what you want and then enters. I like it kind of as a way that all of you guys can kind of use Olivia's powers to create like things for you to train with. Cool. I like that.
I've been thinking about that for like a week.
And then we've got the healing equipment,
Yeah.
which do you want that to be public? Like there's just like a med room, med bay with a big, like maybe some sort of ooze tank that you can get into and it'll heal you.
Yeah, it's less of an ooze tank and more of like a spa
Okay.
Jacuzzi that heals you.
type thing.
So like the thing in Wanted where they're in those like spa baths
Yes.
whenever they take a bunch of damage.
A lot
Yeah.
like that. And then I was thinking,
that.
and you can tell
Like
me
the
if,
Lazarus pit.
yeah, you could tell me if this is a thing that I can do or not, but because like I don't know, we don't really do like hit points and stuff, but we have all of the stuff for like conditions.
Mhm.
That I was thinking that maybe because that's the healing that we need the most usually, like that it could contribute to that. So like either a spa for like relaxation or like like a sensory deprivation tank and like
Yeah.
things
To clear
like that to like maybe help with that.
Yeah.
It's like the construct therapist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I
A
like that 'cause,
counselor.
I mean, it's sort of established in the mythos of this game that like physical damage isn't really a big deal for any of you. Like you recover from it. It's not very rare that you're going to be knocked out of, like, taken out of commission because of some physical harm, but the emotional harm, the mental strain of this is what's important. So
That's
I do
more
think
what I was
that-
thinking.
yeah, something like that. We can RP that it, if you guys get attacked, if you suffer some scrapes and bruises and stuff, that's a good way where you guys can heal and not have to go to class the next day with like a huge, gash across your face or something like that.
Mhm.
But also it's a way where you guys can kind of reconnect and focus yourselves and clear conditions.
Super spa.
I like that. Okay. So those are the 3 features, and then we get to do 2 downsides, but I want to decide on, I want to do the other features because I said, because we're making this like a group thing, those are the 3 that you get to choose because it's as part of your sanctuary. I'm going to give you guys 2 additional ones that you get to pick, just the rest of the crew. And I'm going to let the other 2 that are here choose those. We'll let you each choose one. Since you're here. And I also want you to describe sort of your space in the sanctuary, a room or some sort of location that is sort of important to you. It doesn't have to be the same thing. You don't have to make the thing that you choose be the thing that's important to you. But, if one of you really wanted a gym, or if one of you really wanted a reading space or something, that could be available as sort of like an RP thing. Anyway, I've talked enough. We'll do Morgan.
Okay, so it.
Do you guys need the
should
list
we
of
be
what's
looking
left?
at the Beacon playbook for this? Not Beacon.
The
The
Doomed.
Doomed, yeah.
There it is.
So it's under
Okay.
Sanctuary.
There it is. I see it now.
Yeah. And it's we've chosen 2 things off the list, which are a powerful computer, or 3 things off the list. We've chosen a powerful computer, healing equipment, and a power enhancement system. Other things that are available, you can read through that and take your time, and I'll read them off for the stream. An aid or assistant, we had that before with Janet, but it really came into play. We have locks and traps, a library of valuable tomes, a scattering of ancient relics, a teleportal, a containment system, a powerful computer, which we have already, useful tools, a meditation space, a power battery, a power enhancement system, healing equipment, art, music, and food, which are all part of one. You don't have to choose. I want music, but I don't want art and food.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like these teens need a space to hang too. So I feel like we need art and music and food.
Okay. So you want a fun space to be in. Okay.
Yeah, maybe there's like there's like the main computer room, but like maybe like off to the side there's like a bunch of like bean bags and
There's a rec room or something.
A game room.
Yeah, well, we can say
Yes.
that's, I mean, again, I'm thinking like the Teen Titans hideout and stuff, and they've got like the, a kitchen and,
Is it really a hideout if it's a big giant T-shaped tower in the middle of the bay?
okay, well, they've got their
Home base.
Yep.
I'm trying to think. Well, yeah, their home base, which they can hang out. But yeah, I like the idea of there being a easily accessible room. Maybe some, like beanbag chairs, a TV with whatever the latest game consoles are hooked up to it, and
the X Station 7 at this point. They just merged eventually.
Yes.
Um, what else would you guys want in there?
Well, Olivia, I think, because we established a really long time ago, and then it's never come up again, that she actually like really secretly likes comics and stuff. I think there's a bunch of like posters that are like old, like vintage, like comic book covers
Mhm.
and stuff, and maybe just like one old arcade game.
Okay. Like Pac-Man or
It's not Pac-Man.
okay.
What would it be?
Duck Hunt.
No.
Tiger
that
Woods.
multiplayer.
Oh yeah, Tiger Woods Golf. Okay, no.
Uh,
What was that one? Not Galaga. What am I thinking of?
Space Invaders? That's not an arcade game.
No, I was thinking of something else.
Was.
mm,
No, you know what? Duck Hunt
Duck Hunt?
with the like fake, with like the little fake like orange guns.
yes.
It's definitely that. The more I thought
Okay.
about that idea, the more I liked it.
That's probably fun. I imagine you guys get really competitive about that.
Yes.
Oh my
And no
gosh.
one in here is in marksman or anything, so that actually probably even playing ground for all of you. Okay. So anything else that you guys really think needs to be in the rec room?
Mm,
I mean, obviously beanbag chairs, but that's a minor detail.
Yeah. Okay. But like a, kitchenette and maybe some, food stocked there. You guys.
Oh
can-
yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool.
snacks.
A magic
then-
fridge.
So we've got the art, music, and food. What sort of personal space does Kiki want in here for herself? Like what is your personal space look like?
Um,
And it
Well-
could be as simple as just like a bed to crash in away from home. It can be as
mhm.
complicated as you need, like, within reason.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, we've got the mannequins out front, but we need costumes for them. So she probably has a little creative space where she's working on
Okay.
costumes version 2 for everybody.
Yeah. Well, like costume shop in the back. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we've got the art, music, food, costume shop. Okay. And let's go on to Ian. What's your choice for your the features?
I'm thinking a containment system, because so far we've been fairly lucky in that we've been able to defuse pretty much every situation we've come into, but eventually we're probably going to come across someone who we can't talk down or, have bigger guns come in and scare away. So something
Okay.
where we may need to put someone for whatever reason, but just something where it's like Ian's thinking ahead, that's like, okay, we don't want to end up in this situation and not have anything to do for it.
Okay. So containment system is pretty generic. So you're interpreting, it sounds like you're interpreting that as more of like a room or like a holding cell or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
something that we could probably have Rose, teleport someone into, then she pops out and they're trapped in there.
Oh yeah, that would be pretty cool.
But like
So-
the plexiglass magneto containment.
Yeah.
room, whatever.
But there's I imagine there is some sort of door that you guys could use to get in and out and stuff, and like a key card, lock pad, number, like biometric scanner or something like that. You guys can lock it with.
Something
Okay.
mundane, but still very secure.
Yeah, I like it. Now, what do you see as being the way that things are contained in here? Is it just the material it's made out of is super in its durability, or is it like is there like a negation field or something for powers? Is there like a
I mean, why don't both? If we could somehow figure out a way to channel Rose's negation powers into, a field effect that she doesn't have to maintain herself, that would be good. But also, something that Ian would have wanted to test, and like punching it doesn't do anything with him going full force.
but not like wall-mounted turrets and
Probably not that extreme.
okay.
More suppression. So maybe it's a turret, but it shoots sleep darts.
Okay. Oh, what were you gonna say, Olivia?
I was gonna make a bad joke.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's your bad joke?
Oh, if we could find a way to sort of amplify and like solidify a wall of like Rose's powers around this thing, do we call it Wall Rose?
Boo. Boo. Okay, so
You made me watch that show.
power negation, some sort of like, I guess, suppression system that will, if somebody would be like on the edge of escaping or maybe being a little rowdy or something, could incapacitate them for a short period of time, and being made out of some, bulletproof glass and probably reinforced concrete and stuff around the interior where nothing's gonna get through that. Cool. I like it. All right, so that's a pretty solid home base there, you guys. Now, what are... did we do your personal space? What's your personal space look like?
So that depends. How would we have had to convey our wants to Olivia in order for them to come into being? I assume we would have to.
Yeah, she is the sort of architect.
Yes, I go around decorating everyone's room with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that changes a little. Ian would just be like, making sure that there's some beds, and he's careful to phrase it as, just some beds available for anyone to use. Maybe, we each do have our own room. But in terms of a more communal space that he would maybe head up is, I'm thinking like one of those conspiracy theorist rooms, and just like, it's maybe connected to the supercomputer, but, someplace to start tracking. Okay, we've got, these spiral tattoos and all these things, and just things to keep track of the big picture things that we are dealing with.
I make this room where one of the walls is just all, like, it's made of cork.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
So like a giant bulletin board. And then I turn around and I make the other wall a giant chalkboard. So we can write stuff on it.
I like it.
And then all the other stuff too.
And my thought for this place before we get into the downsides is the it's probably, I don't want to make this super well defined where later on there might be a room like a garage or something you can store vehicles in that you might need or something like that. It's just the ones I want to know what your personal space is, because I want to have that basic idea of the preferences, and then the features of the sanctuary are the things that might have like mechanic like bonuses and stuff to them. You can invoke those features for cool effects. If you're trying to do something like, if you didn't choose to have the scattering of ancient relics, you're not gonna be able to find the ancient relics here. Not to say that you guys can't have a room where you keep any ancient relics should you stumble across any at some point. So anyway, cool. So downsides then, I think, are the only things we need to decide on.
Let me pull it up. I go around and decorate everyone's room. And my room.
Sure.
Which I have. I have difficult to access as one of the downsides, which I picked because it's not just like very conveniently located in the basement of our school anymore. And also it may or may not be a pocket dimension or a different plane of existence or a spaceship or any of those things. So difficult to access, which technically is also good.
It is. It gets a pro and a con. I think the that sort of solidifies what I said earlier, though, about that door is probably the only way in and out of the facility. Okay, what's the other one?
And then I also picked draws dangerous attention.
Okay.
Because, well, we draw dangerous attention, but this being our second sanctuary, and having had the first one be kind of broken into and robbed, that we know that people are out there looking for us. But also, like, it's kind of an abandoned, like, broken down, like, part of town. And I can't imagine that everything that happens there is, like, all sunshine and rainbows and, like, a bunch of teenagers kind of walking through that area could potentially cause us some problems in the future.
Yeah, and I think I'm doing...
If we get seen, like, leaving, going to a different part of town, and, like, going into this, like, abandoned building all the time, like, it could potentially cause a problem.
Yeah, that'll be something we'll have to interpret, because obviously you don't want to just be like, immediately the cops are there, and they know you're here, and that's going to make it more difficult on you guys. But I definitely think that this sort of space is something that, should somebody discover it exists, is definitely going to be interested in it. So it draws attention in that way. Okay. Cool. So we have your Sanctuary Mark II. The Vigilantine Plex. We'll workshop a better name than that. So
Vigilantis.
the Vigilantis. That's pretty cool.
That is good.
Very good. And I hope you guys I'll make a note of all that stuff later.
I wrote it on my sheet.
Cool. Awesome. So I think you guys probably spend the better part of the morning doing that. And playing games and relaxing. And I think towards the end of your kind of tour through the place and getting things set up, I think Irma and Hector, I think Irma, probably you guys are probably in the rec room, maybe relaxing and playing some video games or playing Duck Hunt or something. And Irma and Hector are in the door, and Irma smiles and says, "We're gonna go ahead and head out now. You all enjoy this. I never thought I'd see this place in person. Well, future me never thought she'd see this place in person. This is different. I like it. So if you need us, just let us know, and we'll be around. Oh, and happy Halloween, I guess." And she and Hector head out. And you all realize in the moment, it is Halloween.
Holy crap, is it Halloween?
Yeah. And actually, and you do remember, there's that party tonight.
Oh, crap.
Now, who's throwing the party? Whose party is it? Where is it? I want details.
It's probably a larger school event. The question is whether it's, an actual school thing or just, someone at school is inviting everyone.
I think it's the latter.
Yeah, I don't think it's a school sanctioned.
Yep. Oh, I'm just trying to think how much to draw from real life. No, not going to go that specific, but it's probably, one of the richer kids in the suburbs just outside of town has a guest mansion. This is something I actually know, people owning giant house and then buying the house next to them just to be a guest house and throwing parties there so that they don't have to worry about messing up their home space.
So one of Olivia's neighbors, for sure.
Okay.
Who's like the cheerleading captain? Like, is that a person we've named yet?
I don't think so, because you're not a cheerleader. You're the something else.
Yeah, she's a majorette.
Okay,
That's it.
yeah.
Majorette.
Okay,
They're friends with the cheerleading squad, though.
Because we had Nicole, but she was a majorette with you,
Yeah.
wasn't she? Okay. No, we don't have a name for a cheerleading captain. Please provide me with one.
Jessica?
Yep.
Jessica. Last name.
Jessica.
Somebody says Jones, I will punch you. Is
Bet.
Jessica Bet.
No, I was saying bet you'll punch me.
Yes.
Can't think of any last names.
Saunders?
Do we
Jessica
have
Saunders?
this? Okay, no, we'll go with Saunders.
All right.
Okay, Jessica Saunders, of the Saunders. I don't know. I can't think of where I was going with that.
Well, it turns out that Saunders is actually a company that makes clipboards.
Of the clipboard.
So
empire.
I'm not making that up. That's a real fact.
Okay, clipboard heiress. So
Hey, listen, clipboards are very popular.
they are, at least they were enough to
Especially in
get
the
Saunders.
future.
Yeah, they have those high tech clipboards now. So
Basically tablets.
yeah, so Jessica Saunders is throwing the annual Halloween party at her guest mansion. And are you all invited?
I would imagine at least the three of us here are in good enough social standing to get an invite.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I definitely am. Kiki's real popular. And Ian is on the football team, so.
Okay. I mean, I imagine this is one of those events where it's not like they're not keeping anybody out. I just want to know who had a direct invite and who's just going to show up.
I think we all did. Lucas probably does for being the foreign exchange student.
Yeah. And up until like 2 weeks ago, I would have said Rose would not have. But
Well, they
given
have to
the
invite her now
event-
because she's homecoming queen.
Yeah, I was about to say, given
Yeah.
the events at homecoming.
I remember.
That was a very reluctant invite, though. Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got the Halloween party happening at Jessica Saunders' estate, and that's going to be later tonight. But you have probably about 8 or 9 hours until all of that goes down. So I'm going to go one at a time to see what you all do during your time to prepare, because I assume you guys aren't just going to hang out in the sanctuary all day. Maybe have some preparations to do, costumes to buy, preparations to be done. So, and if you don't have something, I will throw something at you. So, Olivia, what do you do? What are your preparations?
Olivia has some final preparations to make for things that have been in the works for probably 6 weeks because she's very excited about Halloween. So her costume's ready,
Okay.
but she's going to get together with what's her face? We just said her name.
Holly?
Jessica.
No, Nicole. It's Nicole and a couple of the other majorettes, and then a couple of people from the cheerleading squad because they're all doing a group costume,
Okay.
and they're gonna put the finishing touches on that and have a final dress rehearsal
Okay.
before the party.
Dress. Are you gonna wait and tell us what it is that you go as?
Yeah.
All right, that's fair. There's one scene that I'll play out then with Olivia. So I assume at some point you go home to gather
Yeah.
some stuff. Okay. So as you head into the house, and I think you begin rummaging around your room and gathering stuff together, and there's a knock at the door frame of your room, and you turn around, your dad's standing there, and he says, "Busy?
No, what's up?
I just wanted to see what you were up to today. Didn't know if you had any plans, or we're gonna stay home. We could watch a scary movie, eat some popcorn."
Yeah, Dad. Jessica's Halloween party.
Oh, right.
We've been making her costumes for like 6 weeks.
That's right. Gosh, I forgot about that. That's fine. I'll just order a pizza then. Listen, I didn't have a chance. We haven't really talked about it since it happened much, but I just wanted to see how you were doing, if there was anything that had come up since what happened at City Hall.
No.
You and your friends haven't done anything or heard anything about Malcolm?
No.
All right. And you're still not going to tell me about the yellow man that showed up and punched him out of the sky?
Oh.
I understand if you don't. You want to keep your friends' identities secret, even though I know about some of them now.
He's a
I
good
hope
dude.
Listen, sweetie. I want you to know you can trust me with this. I know that some of that might have been damaged. Some of that trust might have been compromised when people wearing my company's logo went marching up onto into City Hall and began to shoot people. But if I had known anything that Alchem was planning, I would have done something about it. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know.
Just be careful tonight. Come straight home after the party and don't... I'm not going to tell you not to drink because I understand how these things go, but just be smart, okay?
I always am.
You know this more than I think most kids your age do, but this world is a dangerous place. And I know you are special and more resilient than most adults are. But it doesn't make it any less dangerous for you. Before you respond, I think he is exerting some influence over you. And he is trying to shift you, or I guess he is trying to exert some labels to sort of enforce you, maybe more of a mundane aspect, maybe trying to up your level or your mundane labels through this conversation. It's up to you to decide whether or not you want to attempt to resist that influence.
So to up mundane, something else has to go down though, right?
Mm-hmm. Probably freak.
Yeah, I don't think she goes for that at all.
Okay. So I'm gonna have you roll to resist influence. Let me
That is flat 2d6. Reject someone's influence.
Yeah.
Okay. 11
Nice.
on a flat 2d6.
That's really good.
Yeah.
So on 10 plus, you choose 2. You can clear a condition and mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong. You can shift one label up and one label down, your choice, or you can cancel your influence and take +1 forward against them.
So I can clear a condition or mark potential?
Yes.
I'm gonna clear a condition.
Okay, and how do you act to immediately prove them wrong?
I am going to look at my dad, who told me the world is a very dangerous place, and say, Dad, I know you mean well, and I know you care, and I know there's like, bad people out there with guns or whatever, but like, I live in a universe where even my own body tried to kill me. I'm not scared. I'm not scared of your scientists. I'm not scared of their guns. And I'm not scared of whatever Dr. Malcolm is now.
I think he grits his teeth a bit, and he looks like he's going to say something, and then sort of takes a breath. Olivia, you're still my little girl. And I know that I know you have strength. But I'm doing this to protect you.
No offense, Dad, but if it comes down to it and Malcolm shows up here, I'm gonna be the one protecting you.
Just be home by midnight, okay?
I will.
He walks up and I think he kisses you on the forehead. He says, I love you.
Love you too, Dad.
and he leaves the room. So we're gonna move away from that scene, and let's do. I'll go the same order that I've been going.
Oh wait, a clear condition.
Yeah, do that. So Kiki, what are you doing?
So, I think Kiki's been real busy and just totally forgot about Halloween.
Fair.
So I was like, oh no. So she probably like goes back to her house to kind of like look through all of her like past like costumes and things, try to see if there's something she could like throw together. And then she finds a like really nice kimono that her grandmother gave her that she forgot that she had, and so
Okay.
she's gonna wear that.
Okay.
Maybe kind of like a geisha.
Yeah. No, I like that. So are you doing like full like makeup and like going all out with this costume, or just wearing the kimono?
Yeah. She's gonna try to remember as best. Well, she's got the internet
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
tutorials. Kind of like
YouTube tutorials are everywhere right now.
Yes.
There's probably a specific YouTube just for makeup tutorials at this point. I can't think of a pithy name for it, but if somebody comes up with one.
but it's a thing. It's
Yeah.
already so
Is
a thing.
Stick tube, 2 on the nose.
Dick tube. No.
Gross.
No. We'll come up with one later. That's not the important part of the scene. But you spend some
I
time.
don't know.
You spend some time getting ready, and I think you hear a knock on your window.
Oh goodness.
Are you on the first floor or the second floor?
Yeah,
Or
I was
third
picturing the
floor?
second
What floor are you on?
They're in a house, and
Okay.
she's probably on the second floor.
Okay, so there's a knock on your window, which is even more distressing.
Gonna go over and look.
Yeah, I think you just
Gonna
like turn
sneak
towards the
over.
window and you see kind of
Oh,
perched up on like there's probably like a little bit of an overhang from the first floor or something, maybe like the roof of the first floor of the house, and standing there is Rose.
what are you doing here? It goes and opens the window.
I would have just come in, but I figured I might scare you, and I didn't really. Oh no, that would have been scary. It's Halloween. I should have done that. I'm gonna leave, and I'm gonna come back and scare you. Okay.
Don't you dare!
Um.
I just got my makeup done.
Okay. You still got time though to get ready, right? We got like 4 hours still. We got plenty of time. I need you to help me with something.
What kind of something?
Well, we're going to a party tonight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we need drinks, don't we?
I mean, there's probably gonna be some there already, right?
Yeah, but it's all gonna be like watered down light beer and crap. Like, no, it's not fun. Come on.
But neither of us are old enough to buy booze.
Well, yeah, you look older than me though. We can make it work.
Try to think.
Listen, I can get in and out and get it without. I mean, I can just steal it if you want me to, but I figured you'd want me to pay for it. But I can just break 2 laws instead.
Oh, I mean, put it like that. Yeah, okay. Okay.
Okay, come on, let's go. Do you sneak out the window, or do you go downstairs?
I think she's gonna go. Not gonna sneak out. But is
Okay,
gonna go down.
all right. So
Like,
Rose.
like it's like a normal. Let me just grab my things, and I'll meet you like out front.
Okay, all right. And Rose sort of disappears. So you grab some things. Anything specifically you're grabbing that's important to the plot, or just?
I mean, she's gonna make sure that she's got a mask just in case
Okay.
anything happens. and then like maybe like a little bit, so she like touch up like her makeup and stuff, but just like a little
Sure.
purse or something.
Okay. I think do we decide you live with your both your parents?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My little sister.
So maybe your mom is in the kitchen, getting beginning to get dinner ready. It's still a couple hours before you even eat, but it says, "Are you heading out for the party already?"
Yeah. There's some. There's a little something at school I have to do first, and then I'm gonna go to a party.
Will you be coming back here for dinner, or are you heading straight over there?
There's food at the party, I think. So I think I'm fine.
Oh, okay. Well, have fun and don't be out too late, okay? And text us, okay? So we know how things are going.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Well, have fun. And she just waves from the kitchen, and you head out the front door. And Rose is probably waiting for you at the end of the sidewalk. It says, "All right, let's go."
All right.
And I think Rose leads you maybe a little bit down the street, and then down like a side alley, and then she grabs on your shoulder. She's like, "This is gonna be a bit of a journey," and she teleports the two of you someplace that, as you open your eyes, you look around, and it's not a place you recognize, but there is a liquor store. Or not liquor store. I think she would have taken you like a gas station or something, but it's like in the middle of the desert, like a very like run down gas station, probably like the last stop between like two very spread far apart small towns. She says, "All right, so guy that owns this place is real old, but last time I was here he wouldn't sell to me. Kind of got on a little bit wise to what was going on. So if you go in and get the stuff, I'll be there as backup. No issues. And we'll just grab some beer or grab some liquor from the counter in the back. Hopefully rum, get the dark stuff, but and I'll grab some mixers actually, and then here." And she sort of like rummages through her pockets, and she pulls out like a couple of 20s and hands them to you, and says, "You can pay for it with this. Just act cool, stay calm. It's no big deal, okay?" And she sort of like messes with your hair a bit, like straightens you up slightly, and says, "Yeah, you look old enough. Okay, good. Just confidence, okay? Confidence. It's all about confidence."
I don't know about this anymore.
It's fine. We are nowhere near town. Worst comes to worst, I get us out. No problem.
Oh, it's not that. I don't know. I don't know.
Come on. You're always so uptight. Like, come on. Just do something risky for once. Do something a little bit on the edge. If you don't want to, it's fine. I don't want to make you hate me because I'm pressuring you to do something, but I just thought it'd be fun and do something together.
I mean, it does. Okay. She's gonna like nervously walk over there. Not confidently.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna try.
So you head into the stop. The bell rings overhead. Oh damn! I don't have the bell one here. I have that in the other game.
Oh no!
I have the whooshing door sound, but I think that, well, we're just gonna go with it because that's all I got. So the doors open. Extremely sophisticated.
It may be the middle of nowhere, but it's still the future.
It is still the future. I mean, it's hot outside, so they need some like pretty well like locking doors. It's nice and cool in here. And there's an old man behind the counter, very like tan, like leathery skin, kind of a patch of gray facial hair, and has like big like horn rim glasses that he is currently like reading a newspaper with, one of the last newspapers in existence. And he and he looks up with like a big toothy smile and gives a wave as you enter, as like kindly small town folk. As you walk through, I'm assuming you're like sweating bullets at this point.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
But like trying to play it cool, but it's still like.
Okay.
Okay.
So you walk to the back, and there's a like rows of alcohol here. Do you have any idea what it is that you're getting? Is this?
No, Kiki's just like, okay, she said it was like dark colored, and is just like trying to, I don't know.
Okay, so you
like grabs like something at eye level, like, I think this is fine.
It says the word rum on it, and it's dark, and you just grab it. That's perfect. I love that. So you grab that off the counter, and you can see the doors of the front open again as Rose enters too, and she goes off to a different side of the store and begins looking through the like the sodas over there. So you head to the counter. Are you getting anything else?
No, probably not.
Okay.
Just like holding this one bottle.
Perfect. As you walk up to the counter, you put the bottle up onto it, kind of slide it in front of him, and the man just small like folds up his newspaper. And you're wearing the kimono right now, are you? Or are you wearing
yeah, she's probably wearing it.
Okay. And he looks over and says, My, you're dressed up very nice. You going to a party tonight?
Yes, a very fancy party.
Well, that's good to hear. Oh,
I'm going to a very adult party. There's gonna be lots of older people there. It's gonna be great.
He kind of looks at you over his glasses a bit and says, I'm sure it will be. Well, let me ring this up then. Takes it and scans counter, and it does the beep beep. And he says, oh, do you have your ID with you?
Yes, of course. Let me get it out of my bag. And she's like, and like looks at Rose.
I think Rose is on the other side of the store, and she's like behind with Alice, and she says, like she's just sort of whispering, she's like, just sell it.
Oh, well, I don't think I need my ID. You can see I am definitely of the age that could buy some of this wonderful drink.
This is the worst.
No, this is the best.
I think Rose on the other side, she just like puts her face in her hands and just begins to shake her head. And the man looks and he says, I'm sure you are, and I don't mean to say that you're up to no good at all, but I'm sorry, I can't sell to you unless you have your ID with you.
Oh, well, in that case, I'm just going to leave then. Goodbye. Turns around and walks away.
You just walk off. Oh my god. Yeah. I think Rose is like just sitting in the aisle now, just like and just looking really like frustrated. And you walk out, and he takes the bottle, puts it behind the counter. And as you walk out of the store, you turn around, you see Rose in there, just looking at you through the glass, like what are you doing? But if you go outside, then I think Rose looks exasperated. You see her in the aisle, you see her look towards the alcohol, and you see her look up towards the cameras of the store. You see her shake her head, and she just walks over to the counter, puts the bottle of soda up on it, the 2 liter of soda, does her exchange and walks out, soda in hand, and just says, what happened?
I don't have an ID. I can't.
Well, no. I mean, you just gotta sell it. You gotta schmooze them a bit. You gotta just. That's fine. Thanks for trying.
Maybe next time I can practice.
Yeah.
I have really good Did you hear me? I was doing a really good older woman voice.
Yeah, we'll see about next time. Best be getting home then. And she puts a hand on your shoulder, and you teleport back to the city. So we'll go ahead and cut to our last pre-party scene. That was a train wreck. And exactly what I thought was going to happen. So the last scene is with Ian. What are you doing before the party?
Bit of a downer. I think he's moving pretty much all his stuff from his apartment to his new room at the sanctuary, and trying to do it on the down low of like, oh, good, everyone else is out doing things, so they won't see me moving, my 3 bags of all my worldly goods into this new place that I am now going to live in.
Okay, so yeah, no, I think everyone. Well, I'm gonna say there's probably one person that is still at the sanctuary. It's probably Lucas, and I think you enter with your one of your bags. Maybe it's your second trip. You got one last trip to take before you got all your stuff. And Lucas is at the big computer and sees you come in and is like, What are you doing? Is it laundry day today, or?
Well, I mean, kind of. I imagine the laundry here is free, and I have to pay $1.50 per load back at my apartment building. So
that is definitely a lot of the money to spend on the laundry. Do you need any help with anything? That looks awfully heavy. I could perhaps help you out a bit, or
Ian chuckles and just like, you remember, and just will adjust the bag and just kind of toss it up and down one hand. Thanks for offering, but no, I got this. What are you up to? What you got going on?
Oh, I was just playing the Minesweeper like you do on the computer. Normal American things.
Now, is it like the super easy Minesweeper, or is it actually 1,000 by 1,000 up on the supercomputer?
Yeah, we'll say it's
the whole wall.
It's just a max Minesweeper, probably even bigger. With they've gone up to the 10,000 square Minesweeper at this point. 3D Minesweeper.
Yep. Also, G brings up a good point. Is Lucas also homeless? Where does he live? I think Ryan is maybe vaguely referred to it at some point, but he's not.
I don't know. Now. So we're gonna assume that none of us know.
Well, we know that Solid Snake is his dad.
We do know.
In case everyone forgot about that.
I had forgotten about that.
We have no idea.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really knows.
Yep.
Says, well, I'll just get back to the Minesweeper then and continue playing my computer games. If you need anything, just let me know.
Yeah, sure. Are you going to the party later?
I don't know. Haven't decided yet. This costume thing is strange to me. We don't do this in Canada.
Yeah, and I mean,
I'm not used to pretending to be things that I am not. I'm always this, and it's strange to not be this anymore.
Yeah, well, I mean, think of it as in a way, I am Ian, you are Lucas, but we're also Lambast and Mutaboy, and that is a costume.
So I should go to the party as a Mutaboy, and he turns into his form.
Maybe not, because I imagine that would cause a bit of a to-do, hoopla, as it were. But just something else. What's pop culture in Canada? Something that or maybe you just go as super Canadian stereotype.
He thinks for a second, and then I think he morphs into the spitting image of Alex Trebek.
That could work, although a bit too good. You still want to look like you, but dressing up as him. You don't just want to be him.
I can do this. And he sort of like Alex Trebek shrinks down. He becomes a little like younger, and I think begins to look a little more like Lucas dressed as Alex Trebek.
Yeah, there you go.
So this is fun.
Yeah, I mean it's not everyone's cup of tea, and I mean I'm sure the girls are going all out in their costumes. I have something that I'm gonna throw together, but yeah, I mean some people all they do is they put on a headband with cat ears and draw some whiskers on their face, and they're dressed up. So
I will never understand these American costumes.
Well, it's a night where you get to be something that you're not, and everyone gets to do that. Not just us superheroes.
Yes, until the superheroing, I never pretended to be things that I wasn't. So this is entirely different. All right. Well, I will. I must continue sweeping the mines. They will not clean themselves.
Good luck with that. And never start with the corners.
I think he looks up at it and begins to go back to his minesweepering, and you head to your room. So are you just putting like scattering your stuff around the place so that it blends in with all the other stuff around the place? Or are you like turning some spot into your like?
I mean, so I think as part of this saying, hey, everyone should have beds. It's we each have our own room that would be ours if we choose to crash there. So putting probably more clothes there than the others have put there in terms of all his stuff is there now, and as strong as he is, he's also not going to move like furniture across town by himself. But
yeah,
so yeah, putting as much as he thinks he can get away with without being too obvious about it in his room, and then other things maybe, but there also isn't that much left that you would want to move and put into public areas. But probably by the end of the evening, mostly his old apartment is now empty and ready to, he's going to figure out terminating that lease and stuff in the near future and making that one less thing to worry about.
Okay. So I think you head back to your apartment for the last load, and it's getting to be a little bit later in the evening, probably around, I'd say it's probably about 7 o'clock right now. We'll assume it's a high school party. It's probably planning on starting at 9. So you got a couple of hours, and it's starting to get a bit dark. Sun is setting, so casting long shadows across the street. And as you're walking down the street towards your apartment for presumably the final time, I think you pass an alleyway where there's a mailbox out in front of it, which casting this long shadow into the alley, and something catches your notice out of the corner of your eye. And you see in the shadows, like across the alley, you see 2 eyes looking at you from the shadows.
How obvious is it? I don't think Ian would stop and stare, but if he turns his head, is it just 2 Cheshire cat eyes staring at him? Or
yeah, I think it's sort of like the Cheshire cat. Now I can't say the word 2 eyes, maybe not quite as large, but larger than normal human eyes, staring at you from the darkness, and they lock onto you and unblinking, looking at you from the sidewalk essentially.
So from the ground, or
yeah, the shadow itself looking up at you.
Okay, I think Ian is going to keep walking, and is going to flirt with danger a little bit, and maybe find another shady alley to pass by and see if the eyes are still there. Trying to keep aware of, and I don't know if this is going to be assess the situation or not, but trying to figure out if they are following him, what's going on, but not moving to engage just yet.
Okay. I'm trying to think. I'll let you can roll assess the situation. I don't know how much it's going to help, but I think
right. Come on, 2d6. Nope, that's a 6 for a miss.
Ouch. Okay. Well, it does. So you don't get any special insight into it, but as you walk past the next like clump of shadows and the next kind of dark alleyway, you see not on the ground this time, but maybe on the wall where the shadow is coming down. But again, in the shadow of probably like an overhang or a lamppost or something, there are another set of eyes, identical, staring at you.
Okay, I think after seeing that, going for the third alley because rule of threes. This time, going to maybe wait at the mouth of the alley, see where the eyes are, and check around, see if there are other civilians around first before deciding what level of action to take here.
Yeah, maybe in this one, as you go past, there's a little more sunlight in it, but maybe a quarter of the way down the alley, there is a dumpster. And kind of in the sliver of darkness in that dumpster, you see that same set of eyes that are staring at you.
Okay. Gonna head into the alley.
Okay.
Smart thing to do. And, checking back out, are there a bunch of people going down the street? Is it mostly deserted?
You don't live in a very... I imagine you live in maybe a lower income area, not as much foot traffic. Maybe a car goes by every now and then, but doesn't seem to be anybody out right now.
Yep. So going to start approaching the dumpster. Look, just check back once over my shoulder briefly, and then look in the instant I was looking away. Are the eyes still there? Did they move?
They're still there staring at you.
Okay. So I think going to approach at a calm walking pace, but then within 10 feet of the shadow, going to suddenly burst forward and just body check the dumpster and try and disrupt the shadow, see what that does.
Okay. You push the dumpster, and I don't think that requires any special effort on your part, and it goes kind of sliding across the alleyway. The shadow disappears, and when the shadow vanishes, the eyes vanish too.
All right. Looking around, are there shadows anywhere else in the alley?
There is now. I would say, kind of in a dramatic sense, you can't see any now, but there's going to be a shadow on the other side of that dumpster from where you pushed it. Now it's kind of like in the middle of the alleyway, and the shadow would be going directly on the opposite side of where you're standing.
Yep. Clearly, I know you're there. You gonna say hello, or we just gonna do this dance?
Do you just stand there, or do you walk around to see the shadow on the other side?
I think he's gonna hop up on top of the dumpster.
Okay, perfect. So you hop up on top of the dumpster, which kind of like crunches a bit as the plastic hoods bend downward underneath your weight, and you see the shadow on the other side. And there are no eyes there at first, but after a moment's pause, you watch as, again, the white eyes open and look at you. And then another set of eyes, and another, and another, until the whole thing is covered in this just like this just like tapestry of the same white eyes that are open and look at you. And then you hear the same voice, though superimposed on top of itself 100 times. And it just says, "What are you?"
I think that's, right back at you.
The eyes sort of narrow for a second, and then one by one they begin to close until there are just the two left. And then those close and vanish as well.
Happy Halloween, I guess. Hop down from the dumpster, shift it back to where it was, and continue about my business, keeping an eye out for any more creepy eyes.
Okay.
Also, I think probably shooting off a group text, everyone be like, keep a lookout for creepy glowing white eyes and shadows.
The text back from Rose first, like, LOL, what?
Tell you at the party.
Okay. At
I
which
text
point,
everyone saying Halloween is getting to Ian.
at which point we will go ahead and as the sun sets and you all begin to get your costumes on and prepare yourselves as the kids of Beacon City go trick-or-treating from house to house. All the teenagers of Beacon City, at least the cool ones, head towards the Saunders estate to go to the Halloween party of all Halloween parties. And that's where we are going to take our break. Huzzah. So thank you everyone for watching. Bear with us during the break. We will be back shortly and see you soon. And welcome back. Thank you all for bearing with us on our break. We had a quick costume change because we were all very uncomfortable. And I hate earbuds. I cannot wear those for an extended period of time. So yeah, we are all ready to engage in some Halloween frivolity. So let's get to the party.
I thought you were gonna say spooky.
So I think I like to set the scene here of like classic teen rager party. Probably every light in the house on. There are probably a bunch of teenagers in the yard. That all the doors are open. There's music blasting. You just like hordes of. I think hordes is the correct plural for teenagers.
Yes, the official.
Absolutely, a horde of teenagers.
So that's where we stand right now. I think, let's see. I think right now, maybe Rose and Kiki probably show up to the party first out of the group, having a more expedient means of transportation. I think Rose managed to get some alcohol after all of it, after all of that drama. Won't say where she got it from, but definitely has some. And I think you guys are just sort of chilling at the party. I think we'll go. Well, I guess Ian, what are you dressing up? Or did you dress up? Or you just
kind of? So what he eventually shows up in is his martial arts uniform.
Okay.
So what he would wear, to the dojo for practice, although it might be an older, slightly rattier one that, would bring less dishonor when it inevitably gets spilled on. But shows up as that with, again, probably one of his black belts there tied on.
Cool.
And so, probably only a few people realize, oh, wait, this is a legit thing and not just like a costume that he grabbed at the store.
I think maybe one of the, we'll say, one of the defensive linemen of the football team who was there at the party and just like trashed at this point probably comes stumbling up to you. It's like, dude, and sort of like leans on your shoulders like, is that real?
Yeah, Chad, this is real.
Dude, this guy could kick anyone. Fight. And then somebody comes over and like grabs and says, no, Chad, come on. It looks at you and says, sorry, and just kind of pulls him away. You probably know most of the football players at this point. You're on the team for a while and probably one of the better players on the team. And I imagine coach was pretty upset to see you go. We'll get into the details of that at another time. But do you think Ian's in pretty good like rapport with most of the football players at this point, the ones that aren't dicks?
Yeah, probably. Has probably helped many of them with their homework at this point. But so like the ones who aren't total meatheads and can have a conversation about something other than sports, he gets along fine with, and the ones who are all sports all the time, he just is like, yeah, okay, Chad.
They're
I imagine
probably
him and Graham don't get along very much.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Okay, so after all of that, and there's probably some schmoozing and chillaxing, that's what the kids do now along the way, and there's I think we'll do Olivia's grand entrance. So how does this
it's
work?
an entrance. It always is.
Okay, you go and describe it for me. I
Okay.
was going to try to lead up to it, but I have no idea what you're doing, so I can't really do that.
I should have done. I guess I could have warned you, but this is more fun. All right, so Olivia's into like a few like fun things, one of which being comic books, but the other one, a little bit less well known, is at this point being into like retro pop stars. So she rolls up. She's not driving. They have a designated driver because they're responsible
Sure.
children, and Olivia would like to live long enough to be valedictorian. So they roll up, and it's her and Nicole and, oh man, I don't think we came up with a name with her, but the senior like captain of the Majorette Squad, who Olivia is friends with under the assumption that she's going to be captain next year. And then also 4 people from the cheerleading squad, 2 of which being 2 male cheerleaders. And so they roll up in somebody's dad's future Escalade, I guess, and get out. And Olivia is at the front, and the rest of them are her entourage, and she's dressed as Britney Spears, but Britney Spears from the Circus music video in like the in the ringmaster costume. So it's like, it's black from the bottom, black character shoes, fishnet tights, high-waisted sequin shorts, and then this white like tuxedo shirt and a tuxedo jacket and a top hat with like a big feather in it. And then the other girls are dressed as like I don't know, it's like Vegas showgirls, like the circus girls with like the big feathers, and then the guys are in tuxedos and they look just like the music video.
Okay.
It's very elaborate and very probably expensive.
And you just, oh god.
No, I'm Googling this right now because I never saw it.
Okay, we'll get to that in a
All
second.
eyes on me in the center of the ring, just like a circus.
So what's your intro then? Like, you just walking in, just saying hi, and
So
then...
they pull up, and I think everybody recognizes it's somebody's like very rich dad's car or whatever. So I think they probably know she's in there, and so they get out. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something. I'm sorry. And so they get out, and it's very like dramatic and exciting, like red carpet, and they like will red carpet walk into the party. And I think everybody is sort of used to, I think there's always a group that does this
Okay.
every year, and it's sort of passed down through like the captains of the teams. And so they are going to go into the party, and then they have a whole like choreographed dance routine ready to do in the party.
Okay. So someone pops on the mute. I assume there's some sort of cue.
To
and
Circus
somebody
by Britney Spears.
get planted. Okay. So someone pops on the mute. I'm not going to pull that up.
Oh
so
no, we'll get in so much trouble.
But just imagine it. Starts to
brains.
play. Yeah. The bass music doing things, and the other music parts of it making sound. So it starts to happen, and
And it's
you guys-
very good.
and you guys do your dance thing. Okay, so this is probably like a 10-minute affair at this point of you guys doing your...
The whole thing from like the driving up to the end of the dance routine, yes. I don't think they do the whole song though. I think they do like a fun like
yeah,
a
that would get
dance
old.
cut.
Yeah.
It's kind of a long song too, but
Okay.
yeah, and it's awesome.
Okay, so I think as you approach, a lot of people outside are like hooping and hollering and like cheering and stuff as you enter, and everyone comes like crowds inside as you come into probably this like massive like living space, which is probably big vaulted ceiling and fireplace, and all the furniture has been pushed aside, and it's been what's kind of functioning as a dance floor. And as you enter and everyone sort of pushes out of the way, you do your routine. There's lots of cheering, there's lots of drunken hollering from teenagers, and as it ends, you do your final pose.
It's like this with a top hat.
Sure. Okay. And everyone else dabs, and then you.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
No, it's
They
my
didn't tell
routine.
you,
They
but
don't.
They do dab.
Damn it.
They added that into the end of the. to the routine.
Olivia will remember this.
And everyone cheers, and then someone does a water bottle flip onto the table and it lands, and then they cheer harder. And
and we put the whole thing on YouTube, on future YouTube.
yeah, and then someone puts on Fortnite, and then they play that for the next hour. We got like 100 new subscribers from that, right? All the young people.
That was very good.
That was
all the cool young kids.
That was the stuff the young kids like, right? Yeah.
Anyway.
Cool.
Stop trying to take away from my moment. It's epic, and I'm awesome. Yeah. And that's what happens.
And I think as things the dance floor sort of starts to fill in again, and people are kind of getting back into it, and your crew sort of spreads out. I think Rose approaches you and is like, "You had to one up me, didn't you?"
Yeah.
All right.
Do you like it?
It was all right.
Cool hat though, right?
Sure. That's a word for it.
Jealous much?
Mm-hmm. And I think Rose just turns and goes walking off to grab
Wait, did you bring booze?
Yep.
I go look for the rest of my friends.
Okay. What's
very
Ian
subtly going, were you guys watching?
What was Ian watching?
So I think trying to, because this can go one of two ways. I think
Can you feel
no.
tonight?
I think Ian, saw what the commotion was as everyone started and just watched for a bit. Then in about the middle of the routine, went to go get his first drink of the evening, and came back, caught the finale.
You left in the middle.
But
It was a long routine.
Do I notice? Can I roll perception?
No, you didn't notice.
Yeah, but as Olivia's striking the pose there, from towards the back of the crowd, Ian does kind of just like the toast thing, and then takes a big drink. He's just like, well, I guess this is gonna be this kind of night.
Okay.
So that's that. And so you found him, maybe halfway through his first drink.
Okay. So you find Ian in his karate gi on the floor.
I see you didn't really dress up.
I mean, we all got a lot of stuff going on. I didn't have time to put anything together, and I didn't want to ask Kiki to make me something cheap. Yep. This is what I had.
It looks good.
Thank you.
You should have worn all your black belts.
That would be a bit too douchey.
I don't know. I think it's like a cool accomplishment, but whatever.
I mean, it is, but also, this is one of my older ones. Because at some point, inevitably, this is going to get spilled on, and don't want to ruin the good ones.
True.
This is an interesting getup, very retro.
It's Brittany, bitch.
Yeah, that's like, she's what, 120 or something now?
I don't know, but she looks good.
But she's still touring.
Brittany is immortal. Just like Ellen.
She's still touring.
I heard her Vegas show's coming back.
Yep.
Leave Brittany alone. You guys, I love her.
Oh, maybe we'll go, Rose took us to the Grand Canyon. Maybe we can convince her to take us to Vegas.
That would be so awesome. Not a place I can imagine you being, but...
Yeah, me neither. But, I mean, maybe with the group. If we decide, we want to expand our movie reviewing business.
You're what?
All right. I'll have to fill you in on parts of that later. But if we want to keep doing what we're doing and, go national, all eyes on Vegas. It's a showy place to make a splash.
Yeah, I guess.
That's for later. That's, we shouldn't really be talking about that stuff tonight, though.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think in the middle of this awkward conversation, there's some footsteps behind you, and I think Jessica, the party Eris comes through. I think she's just wearing like a cat costume or something. I don't know. I can't think of anything.
She's a cat.
She's
She's a sexy cat.
Yeah, she's wearing wearing a cat. I mean, it's just cat ears and probably a mini skirt or something like that. I don't know. I'm not getting into the details of that. But she comes walking up and she sees you, and Senior, probably one of the most popular girls in the upper class, and walks up, sort of casually acknowledging you, Olivia, and she says, "That was pretty good."
Thanks.
She says, "Olivia, right?"
Yeah.
She says, "We'll talk later."
Cool.
And she smiles, big fake old smile, and goes walking away.
Holy crap.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I
I know you don't care. You don't have to pretend for me.
Good, because I'd need a lot more drinks to pretend to care.
Meanwhile, back on the ranch, I think Kiki, my image of you is that you were kind of like probably awkwardly standing off to the side during all this like teenage hedonism and debauchery. But what I mean, that's what it is. Mine is just, I mean, not going that far into the literal definition of the word, but okay, fine. Anyway, so
this very spectacular moment of theatrical performance. Thank you very much.
Sure. As Chad is getting shit-faced and doing keg stands.
I'm a big fan of Chad. I want to be friends with Chad.
You'll have your chance. So, what is Kiki doing?
Yeah, so Kiki's kind of like probably near the door. I think she definitely videoed like all of the routine. Got that on video. But she's looking to see if Steven is coming.
That's actually what I was getting to.
Yeah, she's kind of like looking around, like doesn't know if he's actually coming or not. If he got an invite, he was all weird about it.
Well, yeah. So Steven, I think you wait a little bit, kind of looking around, and you realize you do see Steven, who's on the other side of the room, running the sound and the lights and stuff for the party. And he sees you, and I think he's wearing a Superman costume. And he sees you, and he sort of waves as you lock eyes across the dance floor.
Gonna kind of make my way over there.
As you approach, he says, oh God, what's his voice? I don't want to go too Urkel with this. I can't remember how Urkel he was.
To Angus McDonald.
Yeah.
Well, hello. Hey, Kiki. How? I didn't know you would be here.
Yeah, of course. I'm so glad you're here too.
Yeah, a couple of the guys asked me to run the sound equipment, so and wanted me to bring the stuff from. Well, they mostly just wanted the stuff from the AV club, and I told them that they didn't know how to run it, and I wasn't going to let them rent it without somebody here to operate it. So here I am. This is the first party I've been to.
Don't worry, it's my first time too.
Oh, good. It's loud.
A little bit. I like your costume.
Thanks. I just picked it up the other day. Definitely haven't had this for a long time, but no reason to wear it outside the house. I like your costume too. You look really nice.
Thank you. My grandma gave it to me.
It looks very pretty. And you look pretty too.
Oh, thanks. And gives him a little kiss on the cheek.
I think he sort of locks up, and his face just like flushes red. And he says, I don't know. I don't want to drink anything here that has an open container, so I have a case of Diet Pepsi here. Do you want one?
Oh, that'd be great. I'll go get us some cups or something.
Okay.
Gonna try to go get some solo cups and hide that we're drinking Pepsi. At the
Yeah, you
cool
go get
kids
some-
party.
You go get some solo cups and fill them with ice, and go and stand near Steven with running the AV equipment, and he pours you each a glass of Diet Pepsi.
Love it.
Cool, refreshing Diet Pepsi that you both can enjoy. And so the music's going, the dance floor is kicking off, and the two of you just sort of stand there and sort of, I imagine, just awkwardly kind of swaying to the music and probably
Yeah, all
touching
that.
shoulders.
Yeah. Cute and awkward. Yep.
And he probably, I think he actually like maybe starts showing you like some of the AV equipment, like has you like press buttons and stuff, and like shows you some like how to run some of the equipment there too. Okay, that's adorable. I'm done with that now. So the party goes on for a while. You guys, I think there's a lot of dancing, a lot of like people climbing up on furniture, and then Jessica yelling at them to get down. I think at one point there's a bit of a commotion when you see like from one of the back rooms there is like some yelling, and then Graham comes like running out from the back room, and he's just like soaking from head to foot with something like red that's been thrown on his face, and it's just like fuming as he goes storming out of the house. And a couple minutes later you see like a couple of other football players come out, and Rose just like ducks out of the room too, and sees you all, and she just goes and keeps walking. I don't think she explains what happens unless somebody goes and asks her.
I think if Ian and Ovi are still chatting to that one, she's like, do you know what that was about?
As soon as I see Graham out of my periphery enter the room, I'm like shifting Ian a little bit, so I'm like hiding behind him.
Yeah, he seems angry, and I think some rumors start to fly, and you gather that Graham was talking shit to Rose about what happened at homecoming, and she threw a drink in his face.
Yeah, he hasn't talked to me since homecoming, so
That's probably for the best.
awkward.
I mean, most of the guys, like even Chad, I can stand. Graham, not so much.
Yeah, it turns out he kind of sucks. He kind of sucks.
Yeah. I mean, I guess every high school has to have at least one. Usually a lot more, but at least one.
Yeah. At least Chad is funny.
Oh, yeah. No, everyone needs the lovable idiot.
They could all stand to learn something from you.
I mean, most of them have. But,
Their grades would suggest otherwise.
I think at this point you see there's a tap on your shoulder, Olivia, and you turn back around and you see Jessica standing behind you again. And she says, she kind of flips her hair to the side, and she says, so a couple of us are going down to the basement to hang out for a bit. It's a bit loud up here. You can come if you want.
Yeah, cool. I mean, he's sort of with me, so.
She looks at you and she says, "You're the one that caught the pass at homecoming, right? You're the one that won the game.
yep, that was
You're
me.
not on the team anymore. I don't know your name."
Yeah, it was a brief adventure. You know, academic performance slipped and grades come first. Saying in a way that could be taken ironically or not.
Okay, I think she goes, "Oh, okay. Well, sure, you can come too. Just don't let a lot of people know." And so she goes walking off.
I mean, is this something we want to go do?
I mean, I super have to, but like, please don't leave me alone with them.
Yeah, no, that will definitely stick by your side.
You're my hero.
Are you
He
trying to
doesn't
bring?
know what to say to that.
Just the two of you going? You're gonna try to bring any other of your friends with you?
Has Lucas made an appearance yet tonight?
You have not seen Lucas.
I mean, we gotta try to bring Kiki, right?
Yeah, at the very least, text them in case, I'm a little spooked out from those eyes earlier, and so I'm in paranoid
What?
mode. Did you not see the group text?
No, I did, and you were like creepy eyes, and I'll tell you later. Still don't
Oh.
know what that is.
Yeah, maybe we should find Kiki and fill her in on that and going to the basement. So,
How drunk are you?
uh,
Oh my god. I start dragging him. I go find Kiki.
he's only 2 drinks in, but they've been
So
fairly
not.
strong. I mean, he goes straight for the liquor. Doesn't mess around with the beer.
What do you even have in that flask?
I mean, it's whatever rum Rose brought, and
Rose has rum?
I mean, she put it in the kitchen. It's fine. I mean, has Olivia had anything to drink at this point tonight?
I don't think she's had time to. Up until now.
fair.
I think she's about to.
Yeah, and I think part of that is okay. First up, kitchen. Get you something to drink. Then Kiki. Kitchen Kiki. Can't think of a K word for basement, but let's go.
Basement.
You're such a gentleman. Okay. I grab Ian's hand and I start dragging him with me.
Okay. So, do you like texting Kiki like, "Hey, going downstairs, come with"?
Yeah, we're gonna do like a detour through the kitchen and see if we see Kiki along the way, and if we
I think
don't,
you-
I'm texting
Who's
her
on
like,
the dance floor? So you've seen her with Steven probably across the. But you've seen her like hanging out with them. So if you want to be polite, you could.
okay,
Text
so from like the kitchen doorway, I would text her, and then I'm gonna watch her, and I'll wait to see if she looks at my text.
Okay. So you feel your phone go off or probably feel it's very loud in here. So
Yeah. Pull it out. Look at it. Hope it's not my parents. What does it say?
Very important basement meeting right now. Heart emoji.
Okay, Steven, I'm gonna go find the bathroom. I'll be back in a bit.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll be here.
so you head back, meet Olivia in the kitchen.
And I'm like,
Hey, what's up? I got it all on video, by the way.
I knew I could count on you. It was so good, right?
It was so good.
Thank you. Worked on this costume forever. This hat is so hot, though.
Looks good though. You did good.
Anyway, so Jessica Saunders and a couple of other people, like, invited us to hang out in the basement?
Oh, it's not like a superhero thing.
Not exactly, but
regular
also
thing?
I was gonna.
I mean, I don't think so.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
also the thing I texted about earlier. I guess Rose is gone and Lucas is a no-show, so I'll just tell you two. I was walking around and there were these creepy glowing eyes hanging out in shadows in alleyways. And at first it was just 2, and they kept following me, and then I approached, and then they were like 100, and then they spoke to me.
Were
Are
you
you
drunk,
sure it
though?
This was before the party.
Are you sure it wasn't like some Halloween decorations or something? Like those light up.
Yeah.
I mean, I know tech does a lot of really cool stuff nowadays, but this seems a little more like our wheelhouse.
I don't know what we're gonna do with a bunch of creepy eyes in an alley, but
Yeah.
I
and
guess
then just
keep an eye out.
Ian takes a drink and it's just like, but yeah, haven't seen them since then, so but, just be on the lookout.
You're right. We should watch for them.
Okay, so creepy eyes, but you didn't see anything else.
Nope, just lots of eyes, and when they spoke, it was lots
Wait,
of
it
voices.
spoke to you?
Yep, yeah, it asked me what I am, or what are you. I asked it back, and it just went away.
That's really creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Not
Okay.
knowing enough, takes another drink. It's just like, I don't know. I can't punch Shadow.
Did you try?
Kinda. I punched the dumpster, and that moved the Shadow.
So it can be moved by physical objects, though. So
I guess it seemed to live in the shadows. So I guess we should start carrying around mag lights.
yeah, I'm not doing that. Okay, well, yeah, I guess we should keep an eye out then, for real.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
I guess the basement awaits.
Okay.
If this is
so-
some weird, like, witchy, like, blood ritual, please don't let me die, you guys.
Hope not.
I
Yeah,
watched a lot of
That sounds
TV,
awful
okay?
too.
Do you all head down to the basement?
We do. And on the way down, I'm going like, I don't know what these popular girls do. Like,
All right. So
Aren't you
the,
one of them?
I mean, I guess technically, but I don't know. I've never like bathed in someone's blood to keep my skin young or something. Jessica's weird, right?
Yeah, I mean, is this gonna be the part where like it's the frat or the sorority hazing and some super secret thing that's terrible, but you know everyone has to do and no one ever speaks about?
I don't know. That's why I brought you.
Guess I'll play the gallant knight then, and kind of at this point readjusts his uniform. That at this at this point in the evening with all the dancing and stuff has probably come a
Like,
little
who?
undone and is not dated,
Ooh.
but it's clear because like you don't typically wear an undershirt for it, so it's like his pecs are very clearly
You're
visible.
digging your hole, sir.
Yes.
okay.
Is it hairy
muscly.
though?
Super muscly.
Is he? Oh, is he?
Yeah, I mean he's lean, but there's very little body
No,
fat, so
no. Is he
what's-
hairy?
Oh, hairy? Nah.
No. Okay.
Okay.
Like a baby.
Me and Morgan needed to know.
Okay. So let's get off that. You all head down.
It's
Oh.
okay. He's 18. It's not creepy.
Yeah. You all head
Music
down
is,
into the
though.
basement as the music upstairs diminishes. You hear that thumping of the bass through the floor, but you descend down into it's a furnished basement, and I think it would be creepy because it's so dark down here, and you also realize the only light is candlelight from many of the I guess tables and fixtures and stuff across the room. And it would be creepy, but again, it's a finished basement. There's like carpet on the floor. There's clearly like a mini bar in the corner and a pool table and stuff. And so it's a little diminished by that. But in the center of the room, surrounded by these candles on the floor, you see maybe like 4 of like seniors, like cool seniors, kind of sitting around. They're drinking and kind of laughing. And in between all of them is a Ouija board.
Oh my god, I told you guys.
And I think Jessica looks up and she says, "Oh, hey,
Oh, hey.
come over. Just sit down. Do you have drinks? The bar is open over there if you need anything."
Oh, we'll grab something real quick and then sit down.
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
taking Kiki and Ian with me, like,
I think Jessica looks. She says, "Oh, Kiki, right?
Yeah, that's me.
It's been
Hi.
we had Thompson's what was that, Psych 101 together or something last year.
Oh yeah.
We were partners. Yeah. And I think the two of you or the 3 of you head off to get drinks together. Are you going whispering in the corner of the room?
we are super gonna die down here.
I mean, just because not everything is about our stuff. It could just be run of the mill Ouija board.
There's no such thing as a run-of-the-mill Ouija board, Ian.
Look, worst comes worst, I'll try punching a ghost.
Is everything okay over there?
Just
Yeah,
figuring
Ian
out drink
super
preferences.
can't decide what he wants to drink. Please, don't be so picky.
Just grab the bottle or something. Just come over.
And
For real though, grab the bottle, please.
yeah, is just gonna take the fifth or whatever that's there and bring it over.
Okay. You all sit down and
On the
I
way
think
over, I'm going, Kiki, I'm so sorry.
you recognize a couple of the other people. I think there's another girl who's maybe it's two other
Yeah,
girls.
is it all seniors here or?
Yeah, it's all seniors
Okay.
down here.
Yes, people I
Except
know.
for Olivia, I guess.
Oh no.
And the
Oh, this is where I die.
it's like one of the football players and two more cheerleaders that are hanging out kind of around this Ouija board, and you all sit down and there are like pillows on the hardwood it kind of comes up to the carpet that's carpeted in the more like lounging area of the basement. I'm describing a basement that exists in my head. It's not coming through all right, but anyway, so
I'm holding on to Ian, like, ooh.
yeah, so you all sit down, and I think you hear footsteps coming down the stairs, and you see Graham coming down the stairs too, and he comes out and says, "Is what's going on down here?" And she says, "Sorry, Graham, we're hanging out down here. It's a little crowded," and Graham stops and he looks at the other football player. And they all kind of like avoid eye contact with him, and he just awkwardly says, "That's all right. I need another drink anyway." And he heads back up the steps, and Jessica goes, "Awkward."
I mean, super awkward when the quarterback's not involved, right?
Well, after what happened at homecoming, it's kind of hard to. He's not really running in the same circle as us anymore.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. You, on the other hand, are very up and coming. You have a lot of people's attention.
I mean, so I've been told.
And that friend of yours, was it Daisy? Tulip?
Oh, Rose?
Rose, that's right. She sort of made a splash too. She's only a sophomore though, isn't she?
Well, she got help back.
Oh, that would explain it. Well, we kind of like to get away from everything going on there and have a little bit of fun here. It is Halloween, right? And my parents, they don't know I have this, but this was my grandmother's, or my great grandmother's. Some people said she was a witch, and so I like to use this every Halloween and see if we can, contact any spirits or anything.
Cool.
Do you all know how this works?
I mean, we put our finger on it or our hand or whatever and ask a question and it moves.
That's right. Okay. Well, who wants to ask the first question?
I mean, do we even know who we're asking?
I guess we'll have to find out. Let's see. And she puts her hands forward onto the Ouija board. The rest of you?
I do it too.
Okay.
You all put your fingers on the what's it
The
called
placard.
again? Placard.
I think.
I thought it was a shuttlecock, but I think that's a different sport.
That's badminton. I think it's called a placard, but now I'm second guessing myself.
Yeah.
The pointy arrow thing.
The pointy arrow thing, the mouse cursor. You all put your fingers on it, and Jessica sort of sits up straight. She tilts her head back and she says, "Are there any spirits here to speak to us?" And there's a moment of pause. You hear like the thumping of the music upstairs, and then very slowly,
Planchette.
The planchette. Thank you. The bruschetta begins to
It's called a planchette.
First of
I was
all,
close.
Get that.
bruschetta. The planchette begins to slide just very slowly at first to one way, and then kind of moves in a circle, and then gradually tilts its way up until it's hovering over yes.
I'm over here going like, Ian, don't mess with me.
It's not me.
Don't push it.
I can be against everyone else right now, and I'm not doing it.
It looks like there's someone willing to communicate with us. I have a question. Oh, spirit. Will I be accepted into Stanford? Stanford. That's what I meant to say. And the planchette moves to the center of the board and sort of spins a bit, and then hovers back up towards yes. And she goes, okay, good. All right.
That's so good for you.
I know. Well, my dad did go there, so. There's a moment of pause, and she says, one of you.
Okay. Oh, future telling spirit, whom I greatly respect. Will I be captain of the majorettes next year?
The planchette spins for a moment, and it hovers for a second and begins making its way up towards yes, and then it moves towards no, where it stops. And Jessica says, that's strange.
Well, unfortunate, but I guess next year's valedictorian can't be good at everything.
I guess not. And then it begins to move again. That's strange. And it moves, and I think it begins to move across letters across the board slowly, and then kind of picks up speed slightly, and it goes D O O M. Doom.
Olivia she doesn't say anything. She gets so tense.
I think Ian is gonna kind of try to surreptitiously reach over and pat her on the leg and just like, okay.
And then there's a moment where the board, the planchette begins to sort of move again. And then it begins to move very quickly, kind of pulling your hands across the board. And it begins to spell out letters again. And as it spells out letters faster, you all feel it yanked out of your hands until it begins to move across the board on its own without any hands moving it. And it spells WHATAREYOU. WHATAREYOU, and it just keeps going over and over and over again.
Ian, what the heck?
Just raising my hands.
And I think at this moment, the facade sort of fades, and you see Jessica kind of pull back across the counter. She says, "The fuck, what is going on? What's happening here? You stop it! I mean it. Stop it right now!" And the others say, "I'm not doing this. I'm not doing." And you watch as the lights in the room sort of flicker slightly, and as they flicker, the candles all burn out, and you watch as suddenly 1,000 eyes open all across the walls of the room, in the darkness, looking out at you.
Jessica?
Oh, we should maybe get out of here.
I need you to take your friends out of here, and I need you to do it now.
And then in that moment, the music upstairs stops. And the light that you saw coming down from the kitchen goes out. And you hear the sounds of panic and screaming coming from upstairs. And then you hear another sound. This echoing, screaming roar out from the darkness from somewhere beyond. And all the eyes close. What's happening?
Jessica?
What's going?
Jessica!
What? Yeah.
Take them upstairs. Now.
Okay. Let's go. And they all begin to just like scramble up the stairs.
So those were the eyes, I guess.
Yeah, no kidding.
Terrifying.
Okay, guess I gotta figure out how to punch a ghost.
Are our phones on, or do our phones die?
You look to your phones and they are they are not on. They are dead.
Oh no.
Great. I've seen this movie like 17 times.
Oh, guess we can't get in touch with Rose or Lucas. Up to us. Is gonna the candles went out, or it's just the electric lights went out?
Yeah, the candles went out.
It's totally dark in here.
Okay. Ian's gonna reach over, make sure has touching people so that we can. Okay. I guess first let's get up the stairs. Figure out what the hell's going on.
Let me try to make a light. I'm gonna try to psychic construct a light.
Okay.
A lantern or something.
Okay, so you create a lantern in this like kind of purplish pink color of everything that you construct. I imagine sort of Green Lantern style. Everything has that thematic color to it, and as it forms,
She's under her breath. In brightest day, it's darkest night.
As the light forms, it casts light in a circle, but you notice the shadows across the ground don't retreat like normal shadows. They almost are like pulled across the ground, leaving these trails of black like fingers. This like
Ian, what the heck?
I've had one more encounter with this than you guys have.
And as they kind of pull apart, they stop kind of at the edge of where you expect the circle of light to be, and then they begin to sort of press inward, and the light begins to dim.
No,
slightly.
I'm using like I'm trusting my friends here to not let me die in this basement. I'm gonna use all of my like mental energy that I can to like push the light back out.
Okay.
To make like a circle around us, I guess.
I think trying to decide if this is unleash your powers or directly engage a threat. I'm gonna say
I would love for it to be unleash your powers.
Yeah, because you're reshaping the environment, overcoming an obstacle. I think that works. So roll plus freak.
Okay, great. My danger is a -2. So this is great. 13!
Nice. Full hit.
It's so shiny in here.
So you do it. And I think you
there's some sparkles.
You focus and then you push, like kind of channeling more energy into focusing on the training that you did with Eternity, and the light expands and there's this kind of hissing as the shadows retreat, and a full like circle of light now surrounds all of you.
I'm super concentrating, but a little bit of me is going, okay, it might be demons. I'm very concerned right now.
We should get out of here.
And you're hearing thumping of footsteps above as it sounds like people are like running around the house.
No graceful way to do this. Gonna pick, sorry in advance, pick Olivia up just in one arm and holding on to Kiki with the other, just like rushing up.
Okay.
I think, helping Kiki walk, but like pulling her along and carrying Olivia in the other.
Are you just like firemen carrying me, or like?
Not quite, more just like, not like slinging you over the shoulder, but
just like a lift.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I think the you run up the steps as these shadows retreat away from you, and you reach upstairs as you see this panic that is ensuing. This total darkness around here, only catching like little shadows moving around. I think there is like a bit of visibility beyond the bubble of safety that you have, and you watch as one of these students comes rushing around the corner, and as they try to move into the light, you watch as the shadows sort of lash around them and then pull them back into the darkness.
No, can I try to make the light go farther?
I think you're at the limit of how far that you can push it at this point. And you watch, and I think you hear a voice in the distance that you recognize, Kiki, and you hear, "Help! Help!"
Oh no, Steven!
And you go, I think, do you move with the circle, or do you rush in to try to save him?
She's real freaked out. Yeah, it's probably gonna run in there. Run away towards where she was.
Kiki, no!
We're going after her, and it's just going to continue carrying Olivia until she tells me to put her down.
Okay.
I think now is Fireman carrying, so that
I don't do that. I just let him carry me.
Okay, you all go running in this circle of light, and Kiki, you're just on the edge of it, kind of outside of it, and you feel this pressure as you leave the light, as this the shadows around you are sort of trying to pull at you, but you're strong and you're pushing against it, and you see the AV equipment over there now cloaked at this black shadow, and you see behind it not Steven, but you see an arm that is slowly being sort of like pulled down into the floor through the shadow until just a few fingers are remaining up as Steven is disappearing down into the darkness.
Oh no. Okay, so that's the floor that is like totally covered.
Yeah, I mean every surface here is covered in darkness.
Okay. Shoot. Just gonna stick her hands in it.
Okay.
See what happens.
Okay. You're kind of stick your hand
Like,
there.
are you trying to like reach the floor, like reach to grab his hand?
Okay. Yeah, I think you grab onto Steven's hand and you begin to sort of pull back, and you feel that tension as you're trying to pull against him. I'm going to have you roll. I think this is sort of, I'm going to say directly engaging a threat is the most appropriate contest here.
Oh, great.
So I'm going to have you roll plus danger.
Oh, okay. And I am afraid, which is a -2 to directly engage. So
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
-2. Wait, there you go. A 9.
A 9. Okay. So on a
Oh,
7 or 9, you pick one.
Roll 2 6.
So you resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition. So I think in order for this to work the way you want it to, you got to choose to take something from them.
Okay.
But it means you are opening yourself up to the potential repercussions of doing this.
Okay.
Is that what you
So
want to do?
is Steven the thing I'm taking from him?
Yeah, you're taking
Okay.
you're
Got
taking
it.
Steven from whatever entity this is.
Yeah, I'm like yanking him.
Okay, so you pull and you feel Steven sort of emerging from the darkness, and his glasses are off, and his like Superman costume is kind of like all like tattered, and as you pull him out, you rip him out of the floor, and he goes kind of falling or kind of tumbling into the light, and then these tendrils of darkness come striking out at you, and they do impact you and sort of push you backwards into the light, screeching along the way. So I'm going to say that for that you are going to mark a condition.
Okay.
Or actually, no, I'm going to say marking condition at that point. I'm not going to have you roll to take a powerful blow.
Okay. Just I pick one, or
Yeah, you can pick one.
okay.
However you think your character might feel at this moment.
Probably. She's already afraid. Can't do double afraid.
It's like hopeless, insecure.
Yeah, I think insecure. Like she doesn't know
Okay.
what to do.
Okay. But you're all in the bubble now, and I think Steven is unconscious. He's like, he's fine physically, but he is like passed out from the shock of what's happening.
Guys, what do we do?
You hear that roar again from outside.
Should probably go see what that is. We can't run around trying to save everyone in here.
I think we should get ready for a fight. Can I roll to charge up my powers?
Yes, you can.
I don't remember what I rolled, but hang on. Arm. Oh, plus conditions I currently have marked. Okay.
Oh, I didn't have the panicked mom sounds on. There we go. That's probably.
Oh,
Whose
no.
mom is here?
It's the teenage horde.
the
What up? I rolled so good. I rolled a 12, so I am going to hold 3 burn from my Nova playbook.
Okay.
That's going. Ian, put me down.
Okay. Sets her
All
back down.
And
And as it sets me
like,
dead done, there's like a little magical fire.
Okay. And you all go running outside, and as you exit onto the into the front lawn again, you see the stars are gone, the moon is gone. It's just darkness all around you, except for far into like the pinnacle across the horizon. You can't even tell how far they are away. You just see 2 white eyes opened up, staring down at you at this like imperceptible distance between you. However, from you see the lawn, you see the grass and everything around you, casting this hazy, like shadowy, just substance that is currently blanketing it. And in the center of the lawn, suddenly the shadows like congregate there, and you watch as they take form of this large creature in the center of the lawn, and it sort of has this amorphous, vaguely human shape, walks on 2 legs, but has like 3 arms, and doesn't really have like a head to speak of. It's mostly kind of this lump with legs and arms. And you watch as a number of eyes open across its body, as well as it lets out another roar, and then comes lumbering across the ground, charging at you. What do? And I'm going to turn on some battle music.
Oh man.
All right. Should we do the what's the thing?
Monster
for getting
Mash?
The team pool thing for getting into an encounter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Olivia said we're getting ready for a fight. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is nice.
Olivia's glowing with like herbal fire at this point. She's super ready for a fight.
All right. So we'll say Olivia's the leader then.
Yeah. Oh no, not again.
Do you have influence over every member of the team?
I have the team that's here.
Yes.
I have influence over Rose, Kiki, and Ian.
Okay. So add a team to the pool. Add 2 team, or actually that's 3 team to the pool right now.
Well, so hold on. I assume we went down to 1. When you enter battle, it says add 2, so that would put
Add
us
2.
at 3.
So
Then having influence would bring it to 4.
4. Yeah, that's what I meant. I meant you were adding 3 total to whatever you had before. So we're at 4 right now. Everyone has the same purpose, to stop this monster.
Yep.
I assume.
Yep.
I mean, if the top hat didn't give me influence over everyone on this team, I'm going to be really disappointed.
So you're at 5 there. Does anyone mistrust the leader
Nope.
or the team? And are you ill prepared or off balance? I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So down to 4. So I think you have 4 total right now.
Mostly because Ian's drunk right now. Like,
He's tipsy.
Oh yeah.
Unless you want to mark a condition to remove 1, Olivia. Or to not remove 1 to maintain that 5.
maintain 5. Nope.
Okay. All right. Let's jump into it then. So what do you do as this creature charges at you?
Ian is going to step in front of the girls and, be a human shield.
Okay. Do you have a special like defend someone roll? Yeah, there it is. Okay.
Yep,
Oh, I
defend.
wanted to boost him.
Because I also
You want to boost him? Is
Yeah.
that a something you can do? Is
It's
it
a
burn?
literal thing I can do called boost.
Okay. What does that do?
I'm gonna spend a burn to supercharge a teammate's efforts with my powers, giving them a +1 bonus to their roll as if I had spent team from the pool.
Okay, cool. So so you're rolling to defend
Yeah.
the group behind you from this immediate threat. So roll plus savior.
Yep.
So I'm gonna send a little bit of my psychic energy towards him and extend his shielding efforts out, I
Yeah.
guess.
And
So you
right
are-
now, my danger and savior are the same, but
Okay.
I do have the thing where I can bowl Smart Defender, weak to defend your love arrival and battle, roll plus danger instead of plus savior, but as I said, right now they're both +2, so...
Okay.
And
Oh,
+1 from me.
One. That's a full hit for 13!
Oh, dang.
Nice. So on a hit, you keep them safe and choose one. So you can add a team to the pool, take influence over someone you protect, or clear a condition.
Um... I'm deciding between, because I don't have influence over Kiki right now, but it also doesn't. Maybe I just don't quite understand influence. In my mind, it's more manipulative than doing this would be. Maybe it's more affect neutral than I'm thinking of it.
All it does is give you a +1 to rolls that target those people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think I'll take the influence over Kiki in this instance.
Okay. So you take the influence over Kiki. Alrighty. So you, the thing charges at you. You hold your ground there and throw your shoulder into it, lowering your head, and you catch the creature. So this clash of immovable objects in the center of this lawn, and the creature stops there, and you sort of gain ground on it and push it back as its limbs sort of tear into the ground, trying to get past you, trying to lash out towards you, and you hold your ground. Okay, what do the rest of your, anything you guys are doing in the back now that Ian seems to have, or Landbast, still Ian in this moment, is holding this creature at bay?
Is it all black along the ground out here as well? Or just the
Yeah,
creature?
It seems like most of the shadows have coalesced to form this creature, so you're not like directly stepping on them. Right?
Okay.
But it is dark.
Okay. Want to maybe try to find some concrete? And she's gonna go all concrete skin. So I guess unleashing her powers.
Okay. Yeah, I think that works.
Yeah, kind of get like ready to punch a thing. Okay, let's see. A 6, so a miss.
That is a miss. So you, I think you. So what is it? That miss just is nothing, right?
On unleashing powers?
Yeah,
I
don't
can't
think
remember.
Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't say. So on a miss, it just nothing happens. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think more interestingly, I think you try to pull in the power, or the kind of the substance, and you try to mimic that
Mhm.
concrete form to give yourself this hardened exterior. However, I think in that moment, as you pull it towards yourself, instead of that instead of that like hardened exterior, I think you find this like chill runs up your spine, and the rest of you see the shadows themselves seem to wrap around Kiki in that moment. Now Kiki, I think there's a bit of a flash. I think it's something you live out in this like scene that plays out in your mind very quickly, though, as if you've already lived it. And I think you feel this intense like dread wash over you. And I think in that moment you see this scene of standing on the city streets in your full costume. However, your mask is off, and people are around you, and they are staring at you, and they recognize you, and you see your parents, and they are angry and disappointed, and you see. You see the scene of you being kicked out of school, being pursued by the police, of having no other future other than the mask that you have lost. And I think this terrible scene plays out in your mind. I'm going to have you roll to take a powerful blow.
Okay. I don't know what I roll for that.
I think it's roll plus conditions marked.
Okay.
So you can click the thing above.
Oh, right there.
And you
Got
roll
it.
low.
That's an 8.
Okay, could be worse. So on a 7 to 9, you choose one. You lash out verbally, provoking a teammate to foolhardy action, or take advantage of your influence to inflict a condition. You give ground. Your opposition gains an opportunity, or you struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions.
Oh, I already have 2 conditions. So probably the second one.
You give ground, your opposition gains an opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think as fast as it happens, the shadows then sort of peel off of Kiki, and you see this terrified look across her face. And I think Kiki, you back up like towards the building, stopping your defensive stance between the creature and your friends. And I think as you do that, the creature sort of morphs almost like around Ian, and its hands, or these appendages, go striking out towards Olivia in the back with this light that she carries. What do you do? I say Olivia.
Yeah, I got a thing I want to do.
Okay.
I would like to mark a doom track and use my infinite powers, which lets me use a move from any playbook
Okay.
one time. And I would like to use a playbook or a move from the Bull playbook. Thick and thin skinned, whenever you have angry marked, which I have had since Pandemonium. I've had angry marked. Take +1 ongoing to unleash your powers. And so I would like to mark a doom track to have +1 to unleash my powers, and then I would like to unleash my powers
Okay, that's fair.
on the thing that is coming towards me and all of my friends, and try to psychic construct a sort of shield in between all of us to try to stop
Okay.
it.
I'm gonna say that's defend someone instead of unleash your powers, because the action that you were trying to take is defending the people around you.
You try to scoop it up.
Well, then that makes everything I just did totally null and void, but
Well, it's is it not +1? Oh, it only gives
no,
you
it's +1 to unleash your
It
powers.
only gives you +1 to unleash your powers. My mistake. I thought it was okay. Okay.
If
I'll allow it.
that doesn't
No.
work, I'll do something else.
No. I'll allow. I think that works. No, that's fair. I'll say. Sorry, I misunderstood the what you were doing. But that is fair.
No,
So
I get
you're
+1
marking a doom track for it, so I
Yeah,
think it's fair for me
unleash your
to.
powers.
Yeah. So yeah, unleash your powers.
Okay.
Sorry.
I didn't put my +1. 14.
Jesus. Okay, so
I want to put. Okay, here's what I wanted to make a more unleash your powers. So I want to put up a shield in between us and it, but I want to make it like a targe, like a shield, but with like a big spike on the front.
Mhm.
To then sort of, I guess, do like a counterattack.
Okay, so someone could
With yeah.
take advantage of that to make the counterattack.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. So the appendage comes striking down towards you, and in that moment you concentrate, forming that shield in front of you, and it smashes against it, letting out this reverberating like crack of thunder, which causes it to not hit you. So in that moment, it's a little bit off balance. It took its strike. It tried to take advantage of the opportunity that was given and has been sort of knocked back. There's now the shield in front of you. Ian, what would you like to do?
would I be able to take the shield and manipulate it on my own, or is that going to be mostly up to Olivia to
It's
do
got a
stuff?
big spike on it.
Yeah, I think if you're creating it for the tent for someone to wield it afterwards, I think that's fair. You could combo this.
Yep. So I think Ian's going to kind of roll around, having it dodged past him. Ian's going to circle back, get the shield, and again try and charge into it, but with the point ready to stab it in the gut.
Okay, so go ahead and roll to directly engage a threat.
Yep. That's a 7.
7. Okay,
With a +2.
You get to pick one from that list.
Yep. I think resist or avoid their blows, so using the shield. So first stabbing it, but then kind of after the hit, getting ready to block any attacks it throws at me with the shield.
Okay. So you slam into it again, and this the spike drives into the center of this creature and lets out like another shrieking, roaring noise. Go with this one this time. In pain, it turns into a T-Rex. Similar noise from the creature that you fought before, and it staggers backwards, this big hole in the center of it, which then sort of starts to refill as it lashes out the ground. These arms slamming into the dirt and the grass around you. It takes one more sort of shrieking stance, and as you avoid the strikes, I think from its like tantrum that it is throwing, they pound into your shield but don't do any damage. And then I think it lets out another roar, and then it sort of expands into this like enveloping wave of darkness, which then goes to sort of whelm over all of you, full of these like hundreds of eyes. What do you do?
I mean, if this is open to anyone, I know it kind of just went, but I want to again take the shield and kind of intercept its wave and just charge into it and break its momentum.
Trying to defend again. Okay, no, that's fair. You want to do something, Olivia?
Yeah, am I near Kiki?
You are.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend another burn, because I can do shielding to call up a fast protective field to stop a danger, and spend another burn, to defend Kiki from the big scary.
Okay, so I think somebody's. Here's what I'm going to say here is that 2 of you are defending. There are 3 of you on the field. Who is? So you're defending Kiki.
Mm-hmm.
Ian, are you defending Olivia, or are you defending yourself?
I think in this case, defending Olivia.
Okay. So I want. So as far as your move, Olivia, you're spending the burn. Is there a move to it, or are you just giving you the opportunity to defend?
No, it is a move, so I get to defend someone else from an immediate threat. So I get to roll to defend, but I get to roll freak instead of savior.
Sure, fair. Okay, so both of you roll to defend someone, one with freak, one with savior.
Okay, that is a 9 for me.
10 for me. I rolled like fire today.
All right.
Dang, guys.
So you fully defend, or Kiki is fully defended, and you get to choose to add team to the pool, take influence over the person you protect, or clear a condition. Olivia.
Sorry, I'm looking at the
And Ian, you also get to choose one from that list, but it's also going to expose you to danger or escalate the situation. And I'm
going to clear my last condition.
Okay. Fair.
And I think I am, because I can't really do any of the other ones, so I'm going to add a team to the pool.
Okay. And then do you... I'm always trying to decide whether that's your choice, exposing your danger to escalate the situation, or... here's what I think either way it's going to play out the same.
Yeah, and I think this case it's more exposing myself to danger because I'm charging at a wave of darkness to maybe, interrupt it, but then it's just going to on me instead.
And I think that's what happens. Both of you feel this, have these shields in front of you, and the darkness sort of washes over those shields and not touching you. But Ian is sort of swept up in it, and you watch as he disappears with this panicked look on his face as well, much like Steven almost disappeared before. I'm also assuming Steven is like being protected by some of the things that are happening here too. He's
behind the shield.
Yeah.
Well, I thought we left him in the house because we're outside, right?
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. He's like right in the door, kind of leaning up against the interior. Okay. So Ian, as Ian disappears, you suffer a similar vision to what Kiki felt, but yours a different subject matter. And this I don't know much about, so I'm going to leave it up to you to describe. I think you see the last time you saw your brother.
Yeah, which is, I mean, in my mind, it's pretty dang dark. Was going to pick him up from playing at the park or, a soccer practice or something when, the gang war, the drive-by shooting happened. Ian tried to protect his brother, and it's very reminiscent of that scene in season 1 of Luke Cage where it's, the shootout. He, tries to protect his brother, isn't successful, and that's where the scar on his cheek came from, is one of the bullets grazing him.
Mm-hmm.
So Ian mostly got out. Like, he eventually recovered, obviously, but it did not save his brother.
And I think you see the scene play out. I think unlike Kiki's, though, it's almost like this slow motion of that moment, looking down and seeing your brother and seeing his injuries, and this like terror that fills you, and this anger and this sorrow that fills you in this moment. And those of you that are currently outside, Kiki, you're currently being defended. Is there anything Kiki wants to do right now? You see this darkness whelming around you, as this around the shield.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to use a move called Game Face, which is you commit yourself to save someone or defeat a terrible enemy, mark a condition, and take +1 ongoing to all rolls in direct pursuit of that goal. So she's going to feel guilty because her friends are out there fighting the thing and defending her. So she's going to do that, and now she has +1 to defeat this monster thing, and is gonna rush up there and try to save Ian from the darkness,
okay,
I guess.
Just try to engage the creature, maybe like energy blasts or just like punching it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. So
you channeled light before, so you could like do something there. That's up to you. Or I'm sorry, I'm playing for you.
Yeah, no, I feel like she like absorbs a lot, but maybe is gonna try to like push out a bunch of energy like from herself.
Okay.
And try that, so I guess it's unleashing her powers.
Yeah. Well, I think directly engaging works too.
Oh yeah. Okay, then let's do that.
Okay.
Well, great. I still have a -2 to that. I forgot.
Okay.
Oh well, this is great. This is good because she's still spooked, but I get a +1, so it's only a -1.
There you go. You do have friends here that can use their team to help.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I was gonna try to help save Ian from that. Oh dear.
I want to help, but I don't think it's gonna help.
Wait, that has you with a -3.
How? What?
Oh, that's
I
all
only
right.
get 1 on there.
Well, it would have
What's
been
that -3?
it's supposed to be a -1, so that would put you at a 3 total.
Can I
Okay.
help?
Still though.
I don't think there's anything you can't.
Well then.
You could spend 1 team, but that's only going to bring it up 1.
Yeah, that's not.
No.
Jeez. Oh well, you get the potential.
Yeah. Hey, cool. I get an advancement.
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
Level up.
If
And
I
I think
survive.
You send this blast of energy, and you watch as Kiki lets out a shriek and kind of rushes into the creature, and you see the energy quickly enveloped by the darkness as well, and she too is swallowed up until it's just you remaining. Olivia, as you are alone in the darkness,
But Kiki, no!
collapses in on you.
Oh no.
And the one thing I want to do, because I forgot to do it, is I want Ian, how many conditions have you marked at this point?
0 right now.
Okay, I'm gonna have you mark the afraid condition.
Okay.
Or well, what would be more appropriate? You can tell me what you fear.
I was thinking probably hopeless after
Yeah.
reliving his brother's death.
No, that works.
Not just because danger is what I need, but
that's fine. No, I think I think that works. So there is this darkness that is currently overwhelming you, Olivia, as you are alone. And I think you also you see something in front of you in this darkness.
Oh no!
And you see a reflection. This like it almost seems to smooth out, and you see a reflection of yourself, and you watch as your mirror image rapidly begins to age, and you watch as your hair grows gray as the energy is seemingly torn from your body, and you watch as as you shrivel in essentially in this mirrored image.
I'm gonna try to save my friends anyway.
Okay.
Even though facing danger alone brings my doom closer. Oh no. I would like to use my last burn to do Reality Storm. I do a +1 ongoing to my roll because of the bull move that I used earlier. But I would like to use Reality Storm to channel a destructive burst with my powers. So I'd like to channel every bit of energy I have right now from this this little lantern that I have constructed, and just hold on to that little bit of light, of fire, of whatever it is, and try to use Reality Storm to just burst that outward and try to light up
Okay.
everything
So
that I can.
is there a specific move that you make?
Yeah. It's called Reality Storm.
Oh, well, just roll it.
Yeah, it's spend a burn to directly engage a threat, rolling freak instead of danger.
Okay, so go ahead and
So I
roll
got my
freak.
freak +1. Please be good. 13!
All right, so you get to pick two.
I light this up!
You get to pick two from the list. Resist or avoid their blows. Take something from them. Create an opportunity. Impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
Yeah, I get to pick 2.
Yes.
I'm gonna take something from them.
I assume you're allies.
Yep.
Okay.
And then... Oh no. I don't know what the other one is. Hold on. Hold, please. Yeah, so I'm gonna take something from them, which is my friends, and then I'm going to... I'm gonna resist or avoid their blows.
Okay.
In case there's any backlash from what I just did.
All right, there's this explosion of energy that leaves your body at that moment, and you channel it forward, kind of pulling up from that light source and sending out that explosion of this like ultraviolet light that seems to tear through the creature and lets out another shriek as it does, and you watch as your companions come like tumbling out of the darkness as well, and the creature lets out a lets out that scream as your friends kind of stagger to their feet, and then it begins to reform into that shape as it goes to create these like this scythe-like claws and these hands to slam down at you, and then dissolves away. From the tips down into the central core of this body, you watch as the shadows begin to molt and to fade away, to dissolve in front of you into flecks of darkness, which go scattering out like flower petals out into the night sky. And with a wind, suddenly all of the shadows are pulled away from the house, leaving you and you and your friends standing there, as well as a couple dozen teenagers. Everyone that was at the party now kind of collapsed and scattered throughout the yard and in the house and all around you. Yes.
I was gonna say, so I faced danger alone, which brings my doom closer.
Okay.
So I do mark another doom track, so it's very dramatic. So I think in that moment, for the second time, I think Olivia kind of, I don't know, caves in on herself a little bit, but there is a little bit of like a gray that shows in her hair, and this like really extreme fatigue, I guess, is the best way to describe it after like what just happened, and she kind of crumples and collapses on the floor.
And seeing that Ian, once he recovers enough himself from tumbling out of the darkness, will go over to her and be like, checking on her. You okay? Just not sure what to do, but wanting to make sure she's okay.
She doesn't say anything.
Is she at least, eyes open and kind of, or how responsive is she, even if she's not saying anything? Even nods or shakes of the head, or
she's conscious, and I think she shakes her head, and I think this is like very reminiscent of the last time
okay
this happened. So
I think this time Ian is going to pick her up Princess Carrie style. Look over to Kiki and just kind of looking around the rest of the yard. Should probably call the cops, and I think I'm going to take her back to the base. I don't know if you want to stick around for when the cops show up.
Yeah, I'm going to stick around for a minute. Then I guess, could I assess the situation?
Sure.
See if there's, I guess like still looking, like even though that thing like disappeared, like gonna check if there's any spoopy eyes or anything else.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, wait. Forget which one that is. Superior. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Would this count as a role that is in pursuit of defeating this whatever it was? Wondering if I get a plus one to that.
I think that's your call. Does this? Are you doing this for the purpose of trying to find out more about this thing to defeat it, or is there another purpose here? Because it sounds like that's what you're trying to do, but
yeah, like make sure it's like really gone,
Okay.
Or if it like, it's like hiding or something.
Sure. Go ahead and roll plus superior.
Okay, so that is an 8.
All right. You get to ask one from the list.
I
don't know if any of those necessarily help you, but I can answer your question as far as like we can kind of wrap that into what here's the greatest danger or the biggest threat is kind of what you were.
Yeah. What is the biggest threat, I guess?
I think the answer comes in the form of the last like sort of sign that you get that this creature was actually here, because otherwise there's no disruption or no like change in anything around you. You begin to notice that it's dark out still. You can kind of get the little bit of like sunrise coming over the distant horizon, indicating that it's very late at this point, way past any of your bedtimes. But people are coming out of their...
I was not home by midnight.
Yeah, people are coming out of their homes, and you see that this effect, this whatever happened, did not just happen here, and it seems to have covered a wide area. You don't see any of the eyes, but what you do see is a symbol that is sort of... It was hard to notice at first because it just looks like a patch of dead grass, but it's large across the front of this lawn, and it was not here when you arrived. And the patch of like dead brown grass, forms a large circle with a line going through it.
Okay. Where was Ian going with Olivia? Like back into the house?
Take her back to the base.
Oh, to the base. Okay.
So you guys are like leaving the party.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you going with them?
Yeah, unless I can find Rose anywhere. See if we can get there quicker.
I think Rose probably turns up and she finds all you guys and she's like, that was weird. And
I mean,
I think
Olivia's like almost passed out at this point.
I think
she
she looks a bit shaken up too. Gather she was probably swallowed by this darkness as well. But you check on I mean, everybody else seems to be fine. Everyone's still unconscious, including Steven, but they're slowly beginning to sort of rouse. And you gather if you don't want to be in here for the questioning, you probably want to get going. So is everyone heading back from the base, or are you going to stay, Kiki?
I feel like it's suspicious if we all are just not there. I don't know.
You don't hear sirens or
if
anything.
anyone's going to put anything together.
It doesn't seem like the police are coming specifically here. I think you hear sirens in the distance, but it's not like there's a police car approaching. So
Okay. Phone's dead. Is gonna like
oh,
pull
your
out.
phone's back working again.
Oh, it's working again?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, she's gonna text Steven, say I was feeling sick and went home early.
Perfect.
And then he's gonna go with everybody.
And you all-
Timestamp 5:45 a.m.
and then you all poof away, teleporting back to the base. And we'll pick up on what you guys do next time. But before the end, I think we get a last scene. We see you all disappearing as some leaves kind of go tumbling across the street in this very, very late night, very early morning, kind of twilight. And we catch or kind of zoom out to the hilltops that sort of surround this area of the town, probably on the edge of a golf course or something, in some forested area, where a man is standing, or what is probably a man. In this early dawn, in the darkness here, you see a man with dark skin that has, you can't make out any appearance of him or any sort of shape to him, as he is seeming to ooze this shadow-like substance. And from two gleaming white eyes, he stares out over the suburbs and the city. And we just hear from under his breath, "What are you?" And that's where we're going to end our session here for tonight.
Oh my goodness.
No.
Oof.
We had all that team and we never were able to use it even. There were maybe
No.
one or two places we could have, but
It was
Yeah.
very bad or very good.
yeah.
Well, we went real late, so thank you everyone for sticking with us. I appreciate it. I'll just quickly wrap this up. Thank you all for watching. We will have Lords of Misrule this Saturday. The continuation
Yay.
of our Roaring 20s D&D
Yahoo.
adventure. A lot going on in that game that I've got to remind myself of, but pretty much fighting some werewolves and getting almost killed by some slime monsters is pretty much what has happened.
It's not a lot. We mostly just went, "Oh no," and ran away.
But yeah, that's pretty much all we did that last session. But anyway, we will continue to do more oh-knowing and running away next session. We will not have Wild Space on Monday, so we will see if we can get scrounge something together instead. But otherwise, enjoy your Monday, and we will be back again with this game in 2 weeks, I believe, unless that is Thanksgiving. It is not American Thanksgiving that week, so we will be here. But anyway, as always, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for enjoying, and we will see you next time. And until then, good game and good night, internet.
Good night, internet.
Good night, internet.
Get swole, internet.